Welcome to the From the 108 podcast, starring the drunk uncles of White Sox Twitter. He's a Twitter-like whore, an Instagram thirst trap, and your grandma's guilty pleasure. BeefLoaf. A West Coast attitude in a decidedly Midwest body, MySoxSummer. And your host. He's sharing obscure music thoughts to give you time to hit the bathroom. Chorizy-E.
Thank you, Chorizy. Welcome to the From the 108 podcast. Get ready for some baseball, beer, and bullshit. Remember the drinking rules. If BeefLoaf calls himself a menace or talks about gilfs, you drink. If MySoxSummer begs for free shit or gets piss on his hands, you drink. And if I talk music or say, here's the thing, you drink. Now, here's the thing. You can make all of us drink for just of $1.08 or more.
Please, more.
Speaking of drinking, fellas,
Give me some
what
more.
are you drinking? I'm going to go to MySoxSummer first. What are you drinking, buddy?
Drinking the brown, baby. I got some Angel's Envy tonight. I was drinking it during the wrap-up show. I feel like the last time I drank this, I was not immensely hungover. So I was like, you know what? Let's just roll the dice again and see if I don't get hungover. I've been hydrating like a motherfucker. I drank Arizona iced tea while I was at a meeting earlier. And
is that extra hydrating Arizona iced tea?
I don't know.
Oh,
it was the energy one, and it had all the tings in it, the ginseng.
Energy drinks typically very hydrating.
So
it's how Carlos said Brown would always get
herbal. Chorizy, it's an herbal one. It's good. It was only 99 cents. If it was a good energy drink, it's $3.99. Trust me. Like my kids want them all the time. I'm like, you're insane. So no. JT, I want to get ahead of this right now. I have told them already earlier today. I am not going to be there because I have responsibilities that I have to take care of. I was laid it out. I don't think I'm being a dick about it. And so I am not quiet quitting. I am not too hungover to go somewhere. I have got the doctor's note. And I've canceled before they can charge the card. So we're good to go. Angel's Envy tonight. That's what I'm drinking.
Let me get this drink while I can still, I think, read it. All right. So this is from Pedro. He says, justice for BeefLoaf. Save his toilet tomorrow. A vote for Candice is a vote for humanity and compassion for BeefLoaf. Vote Dice 108 tourney. I'm not doing the rest of the emojis, but thank you, Pedro. And that was quite the challenge. Quite the gauntlet, buddy. To start off.
You gotta keep Chorizy on his toes. That's a good point.
You.
Pedro ordered a bunch of stuff from the 108 merch shop, like you should too. Go to 108.ing/merch, and you should be getting your box tomorrow, Pedro. So enjoy that, my friend.
Fuck yeah.
Beef. What are you drinking, you prick?
Boys, I don't know if I've told you all this stuff.
Menace.
I worked from home today because Mrs. Beef was out of the client. So I take Bonita to school, and then Bonita was out early. So I pick her up at noon, get her some lunch or whatever. But my company, every say 3 months or 6 months, they have a happy hour.
Oh boy.
And so they set up a happy hour for today. For tourney, yeah, exactly. So happy hour. So I jetted out of here, fucking went to the happy hour. I was kind of like, I don't know, is this a little like ridiculous that I'm coming to the happy hour when I was
going to go to school and you get to go to the party?
Let me tell you something. I show up and one of the guys who's the same level as me, we've been working together for fucking a million years. And he goes, I go, I was waiting for home day. He goes, yeah, me too. He had a sick kid. He was like, I was a sick kid. He goes, but I told my wife, I was like, I need 3 hours. I'm leaving. I'm going to the happy hour. So we were both there, just boozing at the happy hour and getting away from it. But I was drinking beer at the happy hour. I encouraged the kids to have a couple shots. I might have had a couple with them. So I decided that I'm just going to drink beer tonight for the show. Nice and easy. I usually try to not have to pee if we're going to be getting deep in some Sox topics like we're going to tonight. But you know what? Fuck it. I just that's what I have to do, Chorizy. I have to finish up the beer that's in my fridge.
It's fine. Me and MSS will hold it down.
Yeah.
While you're urinating.
But,
that's what we do for you.
I appreciate it.
Your work from home thing. It's crazy because I went and met a buddy for a drink after work today, right? Yeah. And I was like, well, let's go to the place right by where I work. That's the easiest for me. and I want to, get out early, do that, and then go home. I figured a River North bar on the first Thursday of the tourney.
Oh man,
I figured packed. I figured fucking packed.
Oh, shit.
Half empty, man. Half empty.
Yeah,
Dude, people just work from home now, man, and I think a lot of people have returned to office, but not enough. And on a day like this, I think everybody was at home. I think everybody was at home.
I have a take about this as well. So there is that level of that, but I think that the young professional just doesn't drink like we used to when we were that age.
That's accurate.
That's not their thing. They don't go to the bar like that, and so there's no when we were 25 or whatever, there was a level of excitement. You were trying to sneak out, like if I had the 3:00 happy hour.
Oh man,
yeah, bro, I'm out the door 2:30. I'm gonna be the first motherfucker at those tables, and I'm gonna be ordering the very first drinks. Like that's us. I think that this younger crowd, they're not drinkers. They don't really get into that. Not that they won't drink, but they're not like the level of us. We're like 3:00 happy hour. We're gonna stay here until this tab runs out. Then we're going somewhere else with anyone who wants to keep staying out. And like, they don't do that anymore. I left about 5:30 or something like that, and let's say we had 20 people there. There was 4 people left. I mean, that's like, and I'm an old guy. I mean, I'm pushing 50. It's crazy. So I know it's just different.
What's the shot that Boss Loaf buys the kids? What's the shot? Like,
so here's what it is. I told the server, I said, I want a shot of Jaeger, but I want you to peer pressure everyone else into a shot. What's funny is that the younger guys that are kind of like our side of the business, they all followed my lead and went Jaeger. So we all me and the fellas all had Jaeger. The other table, which was mixed in with some of the other team, they had some sort of mixed shot. It wasn't a bomb, it was something else. But they introduced me to it later. Very sweet, tasty shot, but I wanted the Jaeger, so I had to.
Nice. Are you putting Jaeger in the mix for the Southside shot? Our Southside shot of the summer.
I brought this up at the event today because I wanted to ask people. I said, there was agreement that we need to get off Malort as Southsiders because I brought up your point that like that's kind of a North Side thing, whatever. But one point my boss brought up because we were talking about bombs and other Southsiders were there like, yeah, bombs make sense. You got to figure out a bomb or whatever. And my boss said, if you really want to make it, unique, you have to make it like Malort in the way that it's not that good to drink, where it's more of an initiation kind of like it has a unique taste where you're not like, no one's dying to buy this, but it is like, oh, it's initiation. We got to fucking do this shit. And I thought about that. I was like, that's a good potential point to this. Like maybe we're thinking a little too much about what exists already and more about like what should be the niche, what should go.
So we need a Jameson. It's Jaeger and Jameson.
Yeah, it's so weird. That's
Jameson.
Right. What are you drinking tonight?
I got the Three Floyds lager.
Attaboy.
Deluxe lager.
Beef, same to you. I was like, I went out after work for a drink, had a nice little plastic pitcher of Miller Lite, and so I was like, I better stick with the beer. That just seems like the right way to go. And we're doing 2 of these. I'm running the second one. I figured beer is the safer bet, but I mean, I've already got 3 of these sitting here empty. So like, we'll see how good of a bet that was.
Well, listen, I got the first half of the show, first 5 of the show. It might be
the Sox section. You do absolutely.
Yeah. So you guys can take a whiz quick, early. I want
to hear what you have to say though, so I don't really want to.
True.
That's the thing too. Like, I should say someone reached out to me the other day. It was like they're watching somebody's show and there's like, these motherfuckers aren't paying attention to each other, man. Why would I want to watch this shit if they don't even care about?
They don't even want to know.
I was thinking like that's why I always try to time my bathroom with the ad reads because I want to hear what the hell you guys have to say. Like a lot of these topics, I don't know what the fuck you guys are going to tell me. So I'm interested to hear what the case is. And so yes, we are interested in what each other talk about generally.
Speaking of telling you what the case is, I want to talk to you guys about something that I saw on the internet. I think you probably saw it, but I saw a great rundown of it. And I wanted to share it with you guys. This is a huge First Amendment case. I don't know if you've seen this out there, but a guy named Count Dankula broke it down beautifully. And so I want to walk through this. And I think MySoxSummer, you're familiar with Afroman because I got high. You remember that? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I am too.
No, I know what you're talking about.
So let me give you the whole breakdown from Count Dankula. Count Dankula TV, if anyone wants to follow him or her. I don't know what it is. So it's the Afroman trial. Cops raid Afroman's house for bullshit reasons, steal money, break his door, fuck his house up. No criminality found whatsoever, no charges at all pressed on Afroman. Afroman proceeds to spend the next 3 years making songs that make fun of all the officers involved by name, even using footage of the raid from his own CCTV cameras. Songs had titles like Randy Walters is the son of a bitch and Lick 'em Low Lisa, accusing one of the officers of being lesbian and sleeping with the other officers' wives. During the raid, one officer looked like he was about to eat some lemon pound cake sitting on Afroman's counter. Afroman made a whole album calling the officer fat. The cops get mad and file a lawsuit for defamation. Afroman turns up to court in a full American flag suit.
It's beautiful.
Officers performatively mad and cry while listening to the songs, really trying to oversell how badly the songs upset them. One officer was suing because Afroman made a whole song about him saying he was fucking the officer's wife. When the officer was asked if Afroman was really fucking his wife, he said, "I don't know." Both nuked his case and establishing that there is a non-zero chance that Afroman might actually be fucking his wife. As his only witness for the trial, Afroman brought one of the deputies' ex-wives. The jury ruled completely in favor of Afroman. This entire thing has been a great win for free speech and absolutely fucking hilarious.
Dude.
His outfit, you saw this MSS. He is draped in the American flag as his entire suit. It was fucking amazing, man. Holy shit.
So I just looked it up. I looked up the video to see if you could see the Lick 'em Low Lisa. There is a video on YouTube directed and produced by Afroman. It is 13 minutes long. I'm getting some trapped in the closet vibes coming out here. God help us if Afroman is doing some dirty shit like R. Kelly, because I don't want to get too into this shit if like he's going to be
Chorizo at lunchtime. So I told you I had to go pick up Bonita at noon from school. So MSS told me, the midday show and Score is getting better, So I was like, okay, I'm going to listen to a little midday show or whatever. They were talking about this. They played the lemon cake, pound cake song. And Layla and Marshall were singing along to the chorus when it was going. I was dying laughing in my fucking car. Like, because
it's just under the boardwalk. Like it's
stuff. I mean, these are parody songs, basically.
Yes,
that's and like not originals.
What's amazing too is like you watch the video. He's playing in like a tiny bar. Like it's like a ridiculous. And I wish I could upload this, but we've got too many fucking pictures in here today, so I can't.
I'm sorry.
Hang on, let me get a picture out of here. I can get one out. Let me get the my styros out.
No, don't.
Yeah. We'll put it back.
We'll put it back. Don't worry about it. We don't need it today though, so we can put it back in there. You can get the picture of it.
We might need it. We might need it.
Well, you can reload it later on. It's okay. We'll do it back up. But yeah, fucking amazing. I loved hearing about every single bit of that fucking thing.
Yeah, and it was actually a pretty important case because, like, if they were allowed to sue him, then it would really hurt First Amendment rights of being able to talk shit about people.
Yeah.
So this is the picture of him,
bro.
Pretty sure he has a weed ring too.
That is definitely a weed ring. Yeah.
I need that for the 4th of July. I need that outfit. Me at the lake house with shorts and that outfit on. It would be amazing.
I'm sure it's available somewhere on Amazon right now.
Now, with the uptick in his popularity, who should take Afroman out on tour with them?
Oh, that's a great
and why
question.
Is it Bad Bunny?
I mean,
no, you know who he's going to go with? He's probably going to go with the other First Amendment warriors, ICP, Insane Clown.
Oh man,
he's probably going to go out there free speech tour. And then maybe Luther Campbell.
That's
Uncle
what
Luke
I was going to say. Him
right
and Uncle Luke could be a good matchup, like going out and doing some shit together.
And Uncle Luke's running for political office.
So
what better time? What better time to do it? Do a little loop around Florida.
Bring out the vote. Let's go, baby.
Yeah. I can't wait for the Uncle Luke / Afroman remix of Banned in the USA. I cannot wait.
Dude, if that was one of the post-game concerts, we'd fucking be there. We might run.
Oh my God, 100%.
Yeah, we'll be at the ones now. There we go.
I was gonna say we're gonna be out there regardless, but
not Beef. He's skipping the Ja Rule. He's a 50 Cent guy.
No, here's what I want. Someone was like, 50, buy out all the seats in the stadium to troll him, because he had trolled him before with a concert he bought at the front rows, right? I said, no, buy out the entire infield thing. If 50 buys that out, he's playing to an empty infield, best thing ever. But I hope there is some level of trolling. I'll figure out something for me personally. But yeah, I'm not a Ja Rule guy at all. I'm not. Jeffrey Atkins can kiss my ass, is the way I feel about it. I'm a 50 guy. I ain't into no Jeffrey Atkins. All right, let's get him the fuck out of here.
That's great.
MSS, how you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing okay. And, the Sox season is starting. I have a lot of Sox memorabilia and stuff that's around my house. Trying to get rid of it. I've been having some pretty good luck with Facebook Marketplace. So I've been listing things on there and learning it a little bit more. Now, I've been pretty anti Facebook Marketplace, mostly because people don't show up, or they ask ridiculous things. Like I say, pickup is by Sox Park. And the thing is this still available? Where's pickup? So it's like I put it right in the ad and they don't. So you can only post a picture of the ad so many times before you just get frustrated. But I found something. And you can do an AI, and I don't think this kills polar bears, but maybe an AI generated response that says, yes, I still have this. Pickup is by Sox Park. The price is this, and so we'll automatically reply to anyone that says, is this still available? Which has saved me so much time. There's probably 37 messages that the people never responded back to the AI bot, saving all the details in crystal clear, right? But a few people have snuck through that are normal, and they've been asking, hey, can I come pick this up? I'm like, sure. The guy's like, I live in the neighborhood. Fucking great. Where do you live? Right behind Grandstand. Like all these little things, and people will know. And so this guy says, hey, I want to pick this up on Wednesday, which happens to be St. Patrick's Day, which I don't realize on Saturday. So he is, going to come pick it up. Day before, he sends me a message. He goes, hey, are you available right now? And then 1 minute later, are you available now? 1 minute later, question mark. And I'm like, what the fuck? So no, I respond to him as, oh, I'm home now if you're ready to come by. He's like, oh, I can't come now because you didn't respond. I had a buddy that was going to give me a ride. And I go, well, I thought we were meeting at 5:30 on Wednesday. He goes, yeah. And I was like, well, buddy, I'm not just sitting around my house hoping that you come by to buy a fucking $10 White Sox hat. So I'm like, I go, I'll see you tomorrow at 5:30. He was going to rob you. 5:30 when you were supposed to come to pick this up. And he's like, yep, sounds good. So about 5 o'clock, or 5:20, I send the guy a message. Hey, you coming by today? 5:30, we on? You gonna come pick this up? Nope. Going to the bar. It's St. Patrick's Day. Ha ha. LOL. Holy shit. Okay. And I go, hey, thanks for letting me know. And then I have not heard from him since then. Last one today. Guy was like, wants to buy this backpack. I'm getting a really fucking good deal. I like getting the cash money. It's nice to get the cash money. He says, hey, can I meet you at 8 o'clock in the morning on Thursday? And I go, oddly, I am available at 8 o'clock in the morning on Thursday. Please come through. 10 minutes to 8. I sent a message. We're still on for 8 o'clock? Yep. Just taking my kids to school right now. I'm coming by after. I'm like, okay, sounds great. 8:10, 8:20, 8:25.
It's at the bar. St. Joseph's Day.
8:30. Hey, I'm here. And I'm like, okay. I come out, nice guy, gives me the money, takes the set, and he goes, sweet, thanks again. I appreciate it. A lot of people sell stuff on me before I get there. And I go, it adds up because you're 30 fucking minutes late. Like you said, 8 o'clock. What possessed you to say, I'll be there immediately? Why don't you just say, I'll be there at 8:30? But no, that's too hard. We'll just say 8 o'clock and then make me wait for a half hour. So I'm cutting my teeth here. I'm trying to figure out how I'm supposed to do this. So it's working a little bit better than it has in years previous. I've figured out I don't make a big listing of 20 things. I just put one item up and then I can mark it sold out. It makes it easier. And then the AI assistant has been awesome. I just need the people to not be fucking stupid, and then it will be great.
I like that MSS provided his feedback directly to the seller. No need to type it into a chat box or anything. It's like, why are you fucking late, motherfucker? 30 minutes. Yeah, I would have sold this to someone else too. All right. I love it.
Adds up. Beef, how are you doing tonight?
Boys, do you know who this man is? MSS Trees. You know who this guy is?
That's Jim Cramer, right?
That is Jim Cramer. Okay. If you don't know who Jim Cramer is, he's a guy.
NBC
he's
Money?
A former
Mad Money, right?
Mad Money. Yeah, Mad Money's the show. So he's on TV. So there's something called the inverse Cramer. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about this. I want to read a tweet from a guy called Sweep. So Sweep has about 250,000 followers. Just this is a finance bro, but it's a very, very funny tweet regarding this man right here. This Jim Cramer. He says, "This is why the inverse Cramer became so iconic." And what the inverse Cramer means is any stock recommendation that this guy gives, you do the exact fucking opposite. Right? Yes, you want to do the opposite. It's like a guy who's a mush who bets on shit. You want to fade them. It's kind of like how Sammy P is the bartender, right? And you always fade the bartender. You want to fade Jim Cramer. So Sweep says, this is why the inverse Cramer became so iconic. On February 29th, 2000, Jim Cramer gave a speech called Winners of the New World. He told a room full of investors to grab a pen and write down 10 stocks. The only stocks worth owning. They were 724 Solutions, Ariba, Digital Island, Exodus, InfoSpace, Inktomi, Mercury Interactive, Sonera, VeriSign, Veritas Software. His exact words, I wouldn't own any other stocks in the year 2000. He told them to throw out every investing textbook ever written. He said every investing textbook was now useless. Old rules didn't apply anymore. The internet changed everything. Amazon wasn't on the list. Microsoft wasn't on the list. Within 15 months, that portfolio of stocks was down 82%. By 2009, all 10 were either dead, bought out for pennies, or down 94%. InfoSpace, one of his picks, was worth more than Boeing at its peak. Turned out the numbers were fake. Barron's later found out you'd make 25% returns just betting against his picks lifetime. In 2008, a viewer asked if Bear Stearns was safe. He said, Bear Stearns is not in trouble. It collapsed 6 days later. This guy still has his own TV show. And I wanted to bring this up because I have a separate podcast called The Au Jus. And at the end of The Au Jus, I always say, we're not trying to be right. We're just trying to understand. And that makes you realize why being right about shit is totally not important in life ever at all, especially if you're doing predictions and you're doing it in entertainment purposes. This fucking man is the worst at predicting anything ever on the face of this fucking earth. And this guy still has a show. He's had a long-running show, Mad Money. You motherfuckers knew what that show was, and this guy is absolutely horrendous at it. And I just wanted to bring up that there are people out here that fucking exist like this, and you should heed the warning. Just because someone is implored as smart, they know this about this, it doesn't mean they're smart. Check the work. See how they've done in the past. See who's the Jim Cramer out there in the world that you're like following people who are smart in. It's just heeding a warning for you guys, and also an absolutely fucking hilarious tweet. I love looking back because we've lived through those eras when everything went to shit and
oh my God,
everything was chaos.
Yeah.
And checking back at the predictions is just absolutely hilarious.
Oh man, I remember working with a dude. Beef, you remember this? We had a guy that I worked with when I was a messenger, and the guy loved trading stocks, right? He didn't know what the fuck was going on, but he loved doing it. And he fucking sold Enron like days before the collapse, before all the shit went down with Enron. Like, you would think if he wasn't like a messenger that he was doing some inside trading. That's how close it was that he dumped Enron stock right before that. He took all the money from Enron. This is the moment, the perfect moment, the perfect sell. He took all the money from that and put it into WorldCom, which collapsed like 2 weeks later.
Oh my God.
I mean, we were in that world. I remember. So Arthur Anderson was a big accounting firm at the time, got in all kinds of trouble for that shit and ended up collapsing. I had an offer from Arthur Andersen and from a mid-sized firm in 2000. I had these two offers to mull over. I chose the mid-sized firm. Many people were telling me, you go to fucking Arthur Andersen, man. That's how you get your name in or whatever. That fucking shit collapsed in like 2 years. Like, that fucking thing was gone. I didn't know anything. That's pure fucking dumb luck. But shit does happen in this world. And so nothing is a foregone conclusion. And make sure you do your own research. You got to know what the fuck is going on with all this shit. So I just thought it was funny. I love the Universe Cramer. I love that it exists. I love that he's still out there picking, still running so terribly bad. And it doesn't matter. He's still on TV. Who gives a fuck?
It's a great topic for our prediction show.
It is.
Great topic.
I know. Yes, exactly. It's a good lead in.
But
you know what I love?
That,
you know what I love? This is what I love. The 108 tourney is here. Your favorite 2 weeks on White Sox Twitter. We'd like to give a huge shout out to our sponsor, Lawrence's Fish and Shrimp, who serves up some of the best food in Chicago. Whether you're craving crispy fried shrimp, fresh fish, golden fries, or their famous seafood combos, Lawrence's always delivers the goods. Grab some Lawrence's, settle in, and get ready to argue about the 108 tournament like your life depends on it. Lawrence's has 4 convenient locations for all your feasting needs. 2120 South Canal Street, 3242 West 87th Street in Evergreen Park, 50 South Manheim Road in Hillside, 3248 Vollmer Road in Olympia Fields. Order ahead to avoid the wait at chicagoshrimp.com. Thanks again to Lawrence's Fish and Shrimp for supporting the 108 tourney. I know we played that earlier, but guess what? I'm not making 2 fucking ads, okay? Not for the whole month. All right? It's good. And it's just the way it is, okay? So just deal with it, people.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
I thoroughly enjoy the music. I just love it. I don't know why I love that music so much, but I love it. Yeah. I think it's like a little key piece at the end that I'm like, man, this is straight off of Keytar in 1983. I fucking love it. I love it.
It's got a little Herbie Hancock vibe to it. Like, well, it's not her. Or it's not Hurley. It's not Herbie Hancock. It's the Axel F. You know, Axel F. That sounds like Herbie Hancock, but it's not him because it's
that Harold.
You know that shit.
Who's
I don't know.
I forget, but
like I always like, oh, that some of that Herbie Hancock shit.
Boys, it's time for some White Sox talk.
Hell yeah!
Now we like prediction shows. We like to try and think about what's going to happen this season. But we're not going to do kind of the standard one. We got a couple questions here. Going to run through them and see what you guys think.
Hands up.
He's not even reading.
MSS got to go first. He's got.
Oh shit! I forgot about that. Yeah.
Again.
Before we get deep, because we're going to get deep.
Fuck reading, bro.
I'm not reading but all right,
we're not going to touch on that, John. We're sorry.
MSS. We're gonna talk some food day.
Yeah, and it's going to be, I'm going to try to keep it as close to 5 minutes as possible. It's probably going to go a little over because we probably have a little bit of discussion, but I thought we'd do 5 fucking hits, 5 misses, and 5 what the fuck moments from the Sox Media Day. So yesterday, the Sox invited me, Chorizy, my kids to try out the new food offerings for 2026. It was awesome. The event is really huge and includes so many influencers and content creators, and it's really dope. And it proves to me that the Sox are looking to get every fan in the park in 2026 because there was people there that I was asking Carla from the B96 show, who I thought it was hip and cool and understood TikTok and all that. I'm like, who is that? This is an influencer that I should know, right? And she goes, yes. And I go, what's her name? She's like, I have no idea. And I was like, you're 26. You should know this shit. Like I'm almost 50. I shouldn't know this shit. It makes me look perverted. So anyway, we're at fucking food day.
Many things do.
And it is fun. So these are my first 5 hits. Now, this is spraying to all fields because you get to see the new food offerings. You get to see the giveaways. You get to see all this other stuff. Okay, so here's the hits. And here's my little graphic. Unfortunately, my PDF thing was not working, so these are the hits. First up, in section 105, which is right behind us. I think it used to be the Comiskey dog thing. They are having a new concept there. It's coffee and cream. And if you look down there in the lower right, there's a little, 2 little coffee drinks. It's gourmet coffee with a soft serve ice cream. Now, So you're going to have ice cream and coffee, and then this ice cream standalone. They're moving the ice cream out of the barbecue joint in the middle and center field and moving it to right by us. So we're going to have kids galore looking to get soft serves.
Hang on, the ice cream's going to be right by us?
It's going to be right behind us.
Yeah, man. I'm going to eat a lot of ice cream this year.
This is what I'm excited about, because Chorizy, we know what happens when he has ice cream and alcohol.
The shit that I'm going to take in the family bathroom is going to be banned from the property.
He shoots poops in his pants, so it's going to be great. All right, next hit. This is number. Oh fuck! This is number 5. God damn it! Hold on. There we go. That's not it either. What the fuck? Well, number 2. Number 2 was supposed to be the Taikatsu dog, which is a Vienna beef hot dog with planko, kewpie, maybe mayo, I think it's supposed to be, teriyaki sauce, and bonito flakes, which was a nice little hot dog, and it's like a little sweet teriyaki sauce and the mayo on stuff. It was fucking fabulous.
I saw this MSS, so that's going to be at Lucky's, right? So it's going to be the other side of the stadium. So my question to you is, I couldn't tell on I saw it on TV actually. Is it like a corn dog where it has a stick? Okay, I thought okay. So that makes it a lot easier to fucking eat, man. Yeah, especially with all that stuff in there. Okay,
and plus it comes in a little a paper container, because they had one last year. It was like a Cheetos, the hot Cheetos dusted one, and then you could just roll it in there and then eat it. It's good. You, me, Chorizo, we need 3 of them. You can't eat just one of them. There, you need 3. They don't fill you up very good. So if you're on the shot like me, you could probably have one, but you might shit your pants later. So, but it's really good. Now, this was easily my favorite giveaway that they threw up, and it is the City Connect crew neck. It is embroidered. This motherfucker is embroidered. Like, it's nice. So nice. And I touched it, and it was nice and velvety, like the good fucking.
What is this, velvet?
I love it.
MSS, did you let your daughter who has the sticky hands touch it or no?
Absolutely not. And you know what?
I'm just checking.
She's so much better now about that stuff. She actually gets like napkins and stuff and whatever.
I'm sure. I'm just giving you shit because you brought it up before.
How can you bring this up the night that somebody broke her heart, Beef? I can't believe it.
I know.
Hey, we're not supposed to talk about
this. This one is being given away.
Keep that behind the third wall.
This is given away on September 26th to the first 15,000 fans. So September 26th, there probably won't be a lot of people still going to the park at that point. So it's the last Saturday, but that's the last one there. All right. Next up,
MSS, real quick.
What's up?
We're just about to hit the 5-minute.
Oh shit!
But. I did see that someone put a $5 tip in here that we could get a drink to. It was our guy Kier says $5 towards the MSS Hooked on Phonics Fund. Cheers, Kiers.
Thank you, Kiers.
Cheers, buddy. Cheers, buddy. Okay, number 4.
And then that gives you a new 5 minutes.
Okay, well,
yes,
we better get another one in because I don't know if I'm going to get through everything. But here, let's go really fast. This is the next thing I really liked was the City Connect warm-up. This also is really high quality. It looked actually roomy. Not roomy enough for fat-ass Wally money, but it's still pretty roomy. This is also embroidered. And there you can see a very not amused Josh Nelson to the left. While I'm taking a picture of the warm-up on the back to show
pure sadness
that is all fucking embroidered. It is fantabulous. It looks really good. Now,
let me ask a question about that fit, because I know you made fun of Wally and it's too big for him. But does it have enough Tommy Bahama fit for a guy like me to really cover up the belly?
I think you're going to look good in this because you know what? It will go perfect with Dickie shorts. Like the Dickie shorts.
Oh, yeah. I'll wear my black Dickies.
You are going to look fucking dope as fucking that thing. Like it fits perfectly. A white undershirt, maybe a fucking white tank top undershirt. You're going to look fly as fuck. So that's been going to give out on July 25th. 15,000. Now, this is my MVP of the entire fucking event. This was the favorite fucking thing I had. And it is the turkey in the slaw. It is house roasted turkey, applewood smoked bacon, sharp cheddar, Louis dressing, Mrs. Levy's coleslaw on a chihuahua bread, available only on the 300 level, of course.
Oh, what the fuck? That looked great. What do you mean?
The
It's only drunk
fucking sandwich. And you can get in the stadium club too. So we do have, we know some people that have stadium
people who know people,
So we can at least get in there. But this sandwich, the bread was so fucking soft.
We need you to run back what you called that bread.
I'm not running it back. I'm going to keep going. I don't have enough time to go over that, Chorizy. I don't have enough time. But it is really fucking good. This sandwich shocked me. I like the way that all the flavors went in. Now, here's my misses. I have 5 fucking misses, and it's not even close how much these missed. So the first one is the pork sandwich. Okay, this is a roast pork sandwich. It's seared garlic, broccoli rabe, sharp provolone cheese with au jus on a sesame hoagie roll. This thing sucked. I hated it. I didn't like it.
That seemed like that would be good.
Yep. Nope.
What's the green on there? What's going on with that?
Broccoli rabe,
dude.
I don't want that fucking shit on the beef sandwich. Come on.
I was so disappointed, but Loaf, good thing. You can only get this in the 300 level, the Stadium Club bar. This is the only place you can get it.
And stay away from us.
Ain't no one ever gonna fucking buy it.
Keep it up there.
Keep it up there. Exactly.
Number 2, the Italian scallion. Okay. This is dry curd pepperoni, prosciutto, ham, seasoned lettuce, and tomato with Dusseldorf mustard and scallion on focaccia bread. Focaccia the fuck out of here, dude. I don't like this. I'm Italian. I should like everything about this, but none of it tasted. It just didn't taste good. Focaccia fucking sucks. Okay, I don't like focaccia bread. It's too fucking much. It's too much. Give me a good.
You know what, MSS? It feels like the bread choice and also the Dusseldorf mustard. Bad selections for that. The rest of it's the rest of it seemed like it was good. They threw that in there. No, that doesn't really match with the rest of it.
And you call it scallion, and there ain't no fucking onion on there, dude. You mixed it up with the fucking mustard. No, that's not right. I need some real fucking onions. All right, next up.
Question on the focaccia though. Would you eat some focaccia if it was well aged in the back of an Uber?
Absolutely not. No, I can't do it. No, even if it's homemade. I like that guy, but no. Number 3.
He's been vocal lately on Twitter.
Yeah. Number 3 is the Kyle Teal and Edward Carroll bobble. Now, I know what you're saying. MSS, you're a bobble guy. You love Kyle Teal. You're Paisan. You love this stuff. You know what's wrong with it? None of the kids that this is supposed to appeal to as 2 young players are going to be able to get it because it's sponsored by Binny's. Binny's is 21 and over only for their giveaways. These 2 players should be directly marketed to the youngsters. The youngsters can't even get this. I'm sorry. I think this was a fucking miss. I just don't like the way that it went down.
The youngsters are going to be able to get it once you sell it to their parents on eBay.
That's true.
This is going to work out for you.
That is.
It's a miss. Indirect. It's a miss for the Sox. It's a hit for MSS.
Okay, and then number 4, a number 4 miss, the Campfire Milkshake 2.0, right? 2.0. What does it mean? Is it different? Did they do something different? No, it's just twice as much and probably twice as costly. I can't get behind this. They're just like, listen, we know that this has been a viral sensation. People are coming to our park expecting us to knock something out of the park. We can't do it this year. We're going to just fucking do what we did already and just make it bigger. This is like, it makes it concerns me because of the front office that I'm so proud of, and they think outside the box of everything. And then they fucking do this. You're like, what are you doing? Why did you do it?
How much fucking milkshake do you need at a game, man? Like, making it bigger is a terrible idea if I've ever heard one. Like,
oh my god,
Chorizy came back from this, and she was like, they just made the Campfire Milkshake gigantic. She's like, is a fucking family of 4 going to share this thing?
How many straws coming at 8?
Yeah, I mean, this is rough. Now, my last miss, and it wasn't really a miss because this was delicious. It's Mrs. Levy's original carrot cake. My daughter, Maysley, because she doesn't want to be called Little Miss Shortstop anymore. She is Maysley. Okay,
I like it.
Maysley all day. She loved this and she ate it. She gave a really, really good review. So if you go to our YouTube, you can go in, you can watch the shorts of both my girls trying all sorts of different foods and stuff that they would not normally try, that we put them up there. My youngest did the lemon pepper wings and spit them out in the garbage can almost immediately. So it is like
definitely go check
funniest,
that out.
funniest look on her face ever. Now, Maysley loves this. And let me tell you, this stuff was delicious. It is cream cheese frosting with toasted coconut. It is delicious. It is moist enough. It is so good. So good. Only available in the Stadium Club level and at like the takeaways. So we'll never get it. I know Chorizy did a video on it too, and she was like, "This is so delicious. This is great. This is great." But we'll never get it because it's on the 300 level. So why the fuck? Why are you even teasing us with this shit? And it's like, maybe you get old Uncle Chorizy to give out a couple dollars. So Chorizy and bullshit, go up there and have some fucking cake.
What bullshit do we send upstairs to have this come downstairs to us? Let's do a little
Good
trade.
question. Good question.
That is something.
That look great.
Let's make a trade that would be on 670 the score during the grabber hours. Like we'll send you
Wally money in Bearstown up to the upper deck. You send us a carrot cake. We'll be good. We're good. Okay, now these are my what the fuck things. I'll whip through these really fast. Things that I was just like, what the actual fuck? The homie, he is the size of a pop, a Funko Pop. He is a little mini homie. I thought he was going to be a big homie. All this is a little Mexican Funko Pop. I wasn't impressed.
That is a big homie. Yeah. The homies are usually like this big.
Oh, I know. I know. I thought it was going to be bigger. I thought it was going to be better. Now
you're going to like have the card at home? What the fuck?
Well, I thought it was going to be bigger, Chorizy. I just said it was bigger. I'm not going to quantify how big I thought it was going to be.
What more should he say?
I just said I thought it would be bigger. Okay, now this one here. This is the brand new, it's the Southside Supreme, which is a beggar's pizza, right? With fucking a beef sandwich and jardiniere on fucking top of it. Okay. You're going to pull this out. You're going to put this in front of me and there's no fucking samples. You couldn't get a sample of this. You're going to put this in front of my face and you're going to say, hey, this is going to be available this year, but you're not going to let me try it. What the fuck? I was so mad. That's my what the fuck. What the fuck MVP.
Put that back up.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Is this one serving? This isn't cut? Dude, no. People are going to be spilling this shit all over. If you see someone bring this into your row, tell them to get the fuck out. Go eat that. Go eat that over a garbage can.
Chorizy, when I looked at that, I agree with you. Like, the size of it is totally irrational. If they're going to do something like this, what they should do is like fold it over once and maybe press it real quick like a panini, and then it's almost like a sandwich where the outsides aren't the greasy jardinera, and maybe some spills out or whatever. But this is going to be a mess. Absolutely.
100% a mess. But luckily, it's only on the 300 level, so we'll don't have to worry about that. You're sitting down and you don't have to be there. Now, here's another what the fuck. Big thing this year, Wingman. They are introducing wings and fries, and they are going to be out in the middle. They're out in the center field. So where they used to have all of the smokehouse and all the barbecue stuff, I think that's gone. It's going to be wings. Now, listen, I love wings, but eating a wing at a baseball game sounds like the worst fucking possible thing you can eat. Okay. We have so many people that visit the 108 that have a really, really hard time keeping their shirt, jersey, or anything on the front of them clean. One of them might be from Detroit, not naming names. You probably know. But this motherfucker is going to try to fucking annihilate a fucking half dozen wings, and you don't expect this to be all over the front of his shirt. I mean,
they'll be all over the section. They'll be just flying everywhere. Like,
and motherfuckers
it'll be like a Gallagher concert. We got to get the sheet up again over us. So.
And motherfucker's going to come up to me with a fucking handful of garlic parm and try to shake my fucking hand. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. I don't want it. I don't want to see that. Now, listen, I had them. They are fucking delicious, but I'm not eating those at a game. I cannot physically eat something that I have to touch with my hands. They're touching all this other stuff at a ballpark and expect not to shit my pants before I get the ice cream and coffee.
People's hands all covered in sauce. They're going to be going into that bathroom. The bathroom door from people pushing that thing in is going to look like a fucking scene out of Shaun of the Dead. Like, it's going to be ridiculous.
It's going to be nasty. It's just gross. And you're not going to have enough napkins because, a lot of these places are going to be crazy. It's going to be nuts. Now, here's the next one. And this might get a little personal, and I'm sorry, right out the gate, Loaf. But the hooded tank. dude, why the fuck? I mean, okay, I get the like why people would like it. It's a hooded tank. It's fun. It's unique. It's different.
Yeah.
You're giving this away in fucking April. Why? Who's wearing this in April? You need sleeves in April. It's going to be fucking ice cold.
MSS, I hope no one shows up to the ballpark, no shirt on, hoping to throw this immediately on. Okay? I hear what you're saying, but I'm okay with it showing up in April. We're going to wear it in June. Okay. We're not going to wear it that day. We're just going to hold on.
I know.
I'm just going to say, looking at that thing, it looks like an athletic fit.
It's coming too quick.
I know where you're going with Chorizy. I will still look masculine in this.
I think you're going to look great. You're going to look great.
Everybody going to be showing off their B cups.
You're going to look great. Now, last one. This is my last one, and I know we're probably about 5 minutes over, if not more. But I've tried to be quick, and I think I should be rewarded for being quick. You guys keep asking questions and kind of slowing me down, but that's part of the deal, and I understand that. Number 5 is the machete. I don't know if you guys know what the machete is, but it is a giant quesadilla. It was surprisingly tasty, but also surprisingly hard to eat. Like, I don't know how the fuck you're supposed to eat all this thing. I'm looking at a slice of it. I'm trying to pick it up, and all the shit falls out. I'm like, this does not look good. Does not look something that I'll be able to do. Now, luckily, because it's so dirty and hard to eat, it's available on our level, so we can get this. We can go have this. If you are interested in getting a machete,
is this terrible? Yeah, it's available to you.
It's right by us. It's in section 111. I'm telling you, it tasted delicious. It's great. They just got to figure out the delivery system a little more, because I was watching my girls eat it too, and they were messy too. So it was a little bit of a chore.
That's the one you press the shit out of. Because that's a quesadilla. You
just press that down.
Yeah,
exactly.
But it had full-on huge slices of tomato in it. I mean, it was some stuff.
Yeah,
so if you don't like tomatoes, you got to stay away from that. But
I just don't like.
But that's it. That was media
fruit.
MSS. There was nothing here that is better than the deli sandwiches we can get right at the top.
No,
the deli sandwiches are the best thing. Like,
don't be telling people about that.
I should. You're right. I should have shut the fuck up.
It's for us.
Edit this out, Chorizy. Don't let anyone hear about this.
I'm working on it right now. I'll edit that.
Yeah, I'm gonna man in black you. No, the MVP sandwich that I was talking about, the turkey and the slaw. I need that motherfucker behind us, because if we had that behind us, that would be my go-to every game that I don't like sneak some food in, because that place was great. So it was good. So yeah, that was media day. Thanks again. The White Sox were really cool as fuck. Let my kids come through. They've been there before. But what my little one was strapped to my chest the last time we went in there. They let them come in, they let them do their reviews, let them feel popular. They were real nice. Everyone's just really cool. So cheers. And yeah, that's it.
His youngest was strapped last time she came in there. She's the one bringing the gun into the stadium.
Oh man, I'd be promoting that as like hard if she was the one that shot somebody, but she's not. She's kind of a wuss.
All right. Sorry for jumping the gun earlier. Now, all right, we're gonna go through a few things, getting some opinions from the boys. First up, hot or cold start? Hot start. Let's go with hot start first. Beef, who's gonna have a hot start to the season?
Boys, I like it. It just popped directly into my brain that this man will have a hot start, and that is Chase Mydroth. It's because he hears footsteps from Sam Antonacci. No, not at all. I had Sox Optimist on the Au Jus a couple weeks ago, and basically we were talking about the fact that last year when you saw Chase Mydroth, as competent as he looked in all aspects of the game, he was injured the majority of the time. He had the hand wrist injuries going on, sapped his power, hurt him defensively. He was still totally competent, totally fine, but I want to see what a totally healthy version of Mydroth looks like. Now, his experience is always going to be one that's heavily BABIP aided, right? Like if the ball's falling in that he's putting a lot of balls in play, it's going to look great. The batting average will be high or whatever. He'll look like an all-star. When everything is finding a glove, he probably won't. But the White Sox were very deliberate to give him the most plate appearances so far in spring training. The White Sox leader in spring training plate appearances actually is Chase Mydroth. He's got 53 plate appearances coming into today, and that leads the club. So they are prepping for this. I think he'll lead off, and I think he's going to show out kind of right at the beginning of the season.
And fuck you, bringing this up.
Funny. You know what's funny, Beef?
Challah?
I actually, it's Challah, but
Challah? Oh, okay.
But Beef, I don't want to jump ahead, but I'm going to jump ahead. Yeah. I actually have Mydroth as the cold start. I have him as the cold start.
Okay, I like it. I like it.
And the reason I do is because I love chaos, and this will lead to endless Antonacci talk. People people are waiting for him to have a cold start. They're waiting for him to have a cold start. And so if he does, Twitter is gonna be unbearable. Just the way I like it. Just the way I like it. MySoxSummer, who's got a hot start for you?
My hot start is somebody that I brought up before. I think somebody that we've been sleeping on, but I'm not necessarily sleeping on, but somebody I think is going to come out the gate really hot, and that's Brooks Baldwin. I think he's gonna play his way into a starting center field position. He's gonna hit some home runs, and he's just like I can't wait for him to come out and just be so hot as fuck. He's gonna be hot as grease lightning. He's gonna be out there running around doing shit. And it's further followed up that he's going to have a hot start because I just got sold his fucking helmet for full asking price. So now I can't get it signed and get some more money for it. So the MSS, I just sold it, curse, is going to live on, and it's going to give Brooks Baldwin the hottest start he's ever had.
Now he's got an elbow right now.
He's got an elbow. He's not throwing yet. He's not throwing yet. So like, I do think that he might end up starting the season on the IL just for maneuvering process. Like
kind of the similar discussion we had, Chorizy, where him and Vassell were the guys that had options, and we were worried, they're going to send those guys down. Well, Vassell gets hurt, and he's going to be out for the season. And then now if Mydroth, has to spend, let's just say it's a minimum, because it doesn't seem like it's that serious. A minimum on the injured list, that makes room for somebody, and they can fuck around a little bit with the roster if that ends up happening. But I had heard that he's working towards getting back into some spring games, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it sounds like he's close. He was taking swings. I think it's just throwing now. And so we'll see if he starts throwing soon. But MSS, that kind of lends to it, right? Because we're all kind of forgetting about him right now. Yeah. So it would make sense if, like, over the next week, he starts taking at bats, he's throwing the ball, and he's actually fine, and he comes out just smoking out of the gates because we've already kind of put him on the IL. Like, I think,
our mind is like, later on in the year we'll see him.
It fits with the surprise, like, hot start.
Thanks for covering me for me, boys. I appreciate it. You guys are true friends.
Teresa, who's the heater for you, bro?
Yeah. Well, so mine, because we gotta have chaos, guys. It's gotta fuck something up to actually do this. So Corey Lee's gonna come out smoking hot, and then Kyle Teal's gonna come back, and people are gonna be like, "Trade Edgar Carroll, get Edgar Carroll out of here. We got Corey Lee, we're fine." So, like, I think that's the scenario that I almost impossible to not happen at this point.
Teresa, so far in spring training in Arizona, he's got a 170 WRC plus. He has over 1,000 OPS. And that's 42 plate appearances, so it's kind of on the higher end of any White Sox player. He is smoking hot right now. Like, so if he carried that shit into the season, and it was like, oh my God, why we can't get rid of him? Like, what are we gonna do with this guy? Like, what's the roster gonna look like? Man, that would be fucking ridiculous.
You know what we're gonna get to see? More Corey Lee in left field.
Yes.
Throw him out there. Let's go.
All right. I already gave my cold start.
Yeah.
MSS, who's your cold start?
So along the same lines that you guys are thinking, we're talking catcher chaos, same thing, Edgar Carroll. I want Edgar Carroll to have and I don't want him to, but I think he's going to have a cold start. And then when he does, everyone's be like, this is why Kyle shouldn't have played in the fucking WBC. This is why, whatever. And I'm going to hear fucking a bunch of Bruce Levine morons saying the same fucking thing. This wouldn't have happened in spring training. Why do we do this? Why do we let this guy? Our season's fucked. So that's what's going to happen. Edgar Carroll's going to start out a little slow. He's going to get a lot more reps, right? But like, he's going to be slow. It's going to be slow for him.
I kind of like that. And actually, in spring training, he started out red hot, but he's really cooled down a bunch since then. So yeah, that'd be rough on the crowd right there. It'd be a little upsetting especially for the Carrolls.
What about you, Loafer?
Who's your cold start?
Boys, I hate to be the guy who brings this dude's name into the cold start, but for me, it's Munetaka Murakami. And the reason why, look, I just worry about the adjustment, boys. Like he in Arizona, he hasn't had a lot of plate appearances in spring training, but he's still striking out 30%. There was no walks there. He did hit his first home run finally. I think it's possible that like you get a couple home runs out of the first 3-4 weeks, but then we're turning around and we're looking and it's like the strikeout rate is really high and he's not really producing that much. And we're looking at each other like, oh, fuck, man, did they make a mistake? Like, did the market price come down for a bad reason here? And I think materially it's just going to be, look, in Arizona, they can't throw the breaking balls properly, so it's not a good offset for the velocity, so he can really hone in on the velocity. And even then, he's not really having that much success. And so I think the adjustment period just might be longer than we're expecting.
Yeah, I think the high heat is going to get him for a while, right? I mean, like, I think we should all be expecting that his adjustment period from Japan to MLB is going to be rough. Let's call it through April, right? We already know there's a kind of a problem with velocity.
Yep.
And like, he's going to get high heat from a lot of these guys. They're just going to go at him, and it's going to take him some time to get adjusted to it, to get into the groove. And so, yeah, I'm with you. I think that'll definitely happen. I think we should just prepare ourselves for that.
And I know he's been training against it. Like they have the TrackMan and all that stuff, but it's different being in the actual game, live pitching and getting that velocity in that situation. He just hasn't seen it. The Japanese pitchers, most of them just don't have that kind of heat like the pitchers here do. And so like, yeah, it should be. And I'm not down on him. I think he'll recover. I think he's going to be totally fine. I think he'll be a totally decent power hitter when it's all said and done for 2026. I just think the beginning of this might be a little rough.
Nice.
All right. Next one. The guy you expect to take a big step forward. MySoxSummer. Who's taking a step forward?
Same guy I predicted to have a cold start, Edgar Carroll. He's going to get a lot of reps. He's going to be able to play all the time. So he is going to develop a little bit quicker because of the situation that he has found himself in. I think it's going to be good for him, like, to have this. I think it might be adverse for the batting side, but for defensive and learning how to play the position and becoming a major league catcher, this is going to be the best thing for him. So I think he's going to be taking a huge jump just because of where he is situated and what the cards he has been dealt. He is going to have to come out and he is going to get better quicker.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how Carroll does this year. And I think the opportunity that he's going to get at the beginning of the season is going to be important. So I hope you're right. I hope you're right, because I really like him too. I would love to see him just smacking the ball all over the place.
And MSS actually, like there was talk he put in substantial work in the offseason. Obviously, a lot of it to try to get to the power. Like he didn't get to much power last year, and so like the expectation is the power will start to develop.
Yeah.
But you mentioned about being more of a catcher, and like with the challenge system, see, he was the catcher that was poor in the framing stats, whereas Teal was closer to average. Carroll was kind of good at all the other stuff, and Carroll does have an outsized reputation with regards to calling games and handling pitching staffs. Like the guys really like throwing to him, even if the framing stats don't support it. And so I think this runway, I think you're right. I think this runway is going to be great for him because he's going to get a lot of more face time with a bunch of these starting pitchers and maybe develop a rapport so that like even when Teal's back, it's like, well, a couple of these guys are just Carroll guys. And so like, yeah, we want to play you, Kyle, but like, these guys like throwing to him, like kind of like certain pitchers always have their personal catcher. You could see that developing in the spot.
Yep.
Beef, who's your guy that's going to take a step forward?
Gentlemen, I almost put him as the guy that we kind of forgot about, but my guy is Miguel Vargas. All right. 2024 was a disaster second half for Miguel Vargas. There's that meme of him where he's like sitting outside the dugout when they're in Oakland and they're cruising to 121 losses. And he just looks fucking miserable because he was with the Dodgers and now he's with the terrible White Sox, And in the offseason before 2025, a well-known White Sox podcaster told me he thought he should just be cut outright off the roster. Now, the three of us all thought that was totally insane. And we thought, no. Miguel Vargas has a pedigree. He should be here, whatever. And he took substantial steps forward in 2025. He got himself back to a normal baseline where he was a league average hitter by both WRC plus and OPS plus. He also stayed relatively healthy 2025. 138 games he played. The man, he only had a 234 batting average, but that's because he's a bit of a fly ball hitter. as opposed to a ground baller. And so that will suppress average sometimes. But he did have 50 extra base hits, which led the White Sox by a fucking mile. He had 80 runs scored, which led the White Sox by a fucking mile as well. Given the White Sox had a bottom 4 offense in 2025, that's a lot of runs scored, 80 runs for for a guy. The on-base skills are there. He keeps a minimal strikeout rate of 17% last year. I think that as he matures this year, he gets better. I think that some of those doubles that we saw last year are going to start turning into home runs. And the guy who a lot of people thought was a 3 or 4 hitter on a good team when he, 2-3 years ago when he was a prospect, I think some of those rewards are going to start coming through. And you're going to start looking at him like, yeah, when those young kids come up, we can move him to an outfield corner because the bat is going to play absolutely everywhere. So I expect Miguel Vargas to become the daddy of the offense here, the guy who you can depend on.
I'm glad you brought up the young guys coming up, because this just like brings me back to the last rebuild, right? And so I think a lot of people are overconfident right now in what's coming up. And they're like, well, that's fine. If Vargas doesn't work out, we just move Colson over to the third. And then we've got 8 different shortstops that are going to come up. And then we got Rock Chalowski after that. And it's like, you don't actually have any of that shit right now. Like, right. You don't have it until you have it. And that's so, right. Like, it would be a lot better if Vargas proved that he can hit. And we are confident in him as a hitter. And then if someone pushes him out of that position and he has to move to the outfield, so be it. But until then, let's have an actual fucking guy at that position before we anoint someone else that position.
Agreed. I totally agree.
Just a little quick update. The Illini are doing what Duke couldn't. They're winning by 30 points right now. So good job, Illini.
There we go.
Keep rolling against Penn.
There we go. All right. My guy that I think is going to take a big step forward is a guy that I was low on at the acquisition moment, but Luis Angel Acuna, I think, has a chance to do this. He's going to get a ton of run. He's going to get a ton of opportunity.
Yep.
And I think there's one thing that we've seen over the past few years in Major League Baseball that is coming back a little bit, which is speed. And speed can cover up a lot of problems for these guys between playing in the outfield position and just being fast as fuck. That is helpful. That is very helpful. And then if he gets on base, he is a stolen base threat. And stolen bases, it feels like something the Sox are going to be going after. So it could be a scenario where we see Acuna become one of these lightning fast guys on the bases. I don't know that his end result in the major leagues is everyday player. But if he's a utility player that's fast as fuck, that's super valuable. And so that's where I'm hoping that he takes that step forward and shows that, like, he's a threat when he gets on base. And he's a good enough outfielder that between that and his ability to play the infield, he's a super utility guy. Nice. And so that, to me, that's a big step forward for him, because honestly, the Mets were like, yeah, whatever, take this guy. So
here, just have him. We'll take Luis. Just have this guy. No, and Chorizo, I'm glad you brought up that point, and I'm glad you mentioned, in addition to him playing the infield, because in spring training, yes, they're giving him run in center. The thought is he's going to be your center fielder when you start the season, but they are still playing him in the infield some.
Yes,
and so I think they have thought. I think that they are trying to leave Will Venable a roster in which he has maneuverability with a lot of positions. And MSS mentioned Brooks Baldwin. Okay, we all know Brooks Baldwin. Yes, they've been trying to make Brooks Baldwin an outfielder, but you can put him at third. You can put him at second. You can even sneak him at short occasionally. There's a lot of position flexibility for those two guys in particular that can really cover up a lot of ills for this team. Like if there's injuries or whatever. And so, I hope so, Chorizy. I would love it if he showed up to the season and it was 320 on base and he stole 50 bases. And it was like, holy shit, the White Sox really got a guy out of this. I'm not expecting that, but it's in the realm of possibilities. It's within the spread of probability there, in my opinion.
All right. Now we're going to get to the nervous shits portion of this. BeefLoaf, who are you irrationally worried about?
This isn't being a little long-winded, boys, but I'm irrationally worried about the inevitable breakup, I'll call it. Okay. Let's start off in the front office. And by proxy, we'll start off with Josh Barfield. So MSS at the end of last year, it was in August or September. You brought up the point that he was getting some interest, kind of some offers from other teams.
Yes.
And it was something that we highlighted because in the Rick Hahn era, that fucking shit never
happened.
So right now, we're heading into year 3 of this front office, and Barfield's been part of it since then. But right now, the team is kind of at a glacial pace, right? I don't think anyone in the right mind thinks this team competes in 2026. And maybe it does in 2027, but we don't know. We've got to see 2026 and see how it develops. And with Barfield in mind, it had me thinking about Jeff Passan being on this show and us bringing up the point to him about Hahn, how we were kind of not in on Hahn. A lot of the mainstream media was in on Hahn. And we brought up the point. No one from his front office gets plucked. And he just told us, he said, well, when your team sucks, nobody wants the front office guys from the team that sucks. And so it got me thinking, like, Barfield's got to realize I have a market value now. Teams wanted me at the end of last season. How much longer does that exist while you're on a team that kind of fucking sucks? And I thought, you know what? You know who else is in that boat too? Is Brian Bannister potentially is in that boat because his reputation could get flushed as well with regards to this. I think 2026 is more important to guys like that than it actually is to us fans, a lot of guys on the roster who need to take steps up. Unless the White Sox want to make the move of saying, like, look, Chris Getz, you're going to move up to president of baseball ops. And yes, there's a promotion here for you guys. There's a promotion for Barfield, the GM, and Banny up to some higher title or whatever in order to stick with this role. I don't think these guys think about their careers the same way Rick Hahn and Kenny Williams thought, well, I have a fucking lifetime career here, so I don't give a fuck. Kind of. I think these guys want to proceed with it, and Barfield's still a young guy, and even though Banny's not really that young anymore, you don't want the whole thing getting kind of washed up because you were with that real shitty team for 4 or 5 years. And so being on year 3, I think it's a pivotal year for that. This also extends to the team, though, too, because what happens when the White Sox get a Miguel Vargas or Shane Smith pop off this year and get a really fucking good offer for them and start looking like, oh, ship off the team? I think it's something we've talked about it a little bit, but I don't think Sox fans are ready for that. I don't even think they're ready for if Grant Taylor is amazing and the White Sox ship him in July for some great package of prospects. I think that the inevitable breakup is out there. I think there's going to be movement in this whole amoeba that we call the White Sox right now, and I don't know what direction.
Yeah,
all right, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I want to tackle the first part with Barfield and Bannister. Barfield, I agree with. I think that like you see players coming in and players from trades and whatnot that you can point to and say, look at some success here and like how it's turned around. I don't think you can say this same thing about the pitching staff. I don't think that Bannister has done such a bang up job here on the surface.
Agreed.
To get it. Now, here's where it would save him if he doesn't have that much control and they're not allowing him to do things he wants to do, which I don't think is happening. I think he has been given the keys to the car. He has been doing what he wants, and it's not working or hasn't worked out the way that he thought it would. There's been successes among some of this, but overall, this is a struggling student. This kid's got to go to JUCO, to get his grades up to get back to the big show. Yep. Right? Like I don't think that I'm not as worried about him as I'd be worried about Barfield. I know Barfield's going to go.
I think Bannister, though, needs to be worried about himself. And I think that's what Beef is alluding to.
Yeah, I mean, it could be that direction, too. I didn't point in that direction, but you're right, Chorizy. That is part of it,
This comment here is good from Sox Life. He said, if the bullpen isn't great, does Banny go bye-bye? And it's like,
maybe.
This is 3. That would be 3 years in a row where the bullpen he throws together, like that he puts together, fucking stinks, right? Like, so it's I'm more hopeful for this year's bullpen, but it's a great point. Like, how many years in a row could he put together a bad bullpen and people still be like, this is the pitching guru, right? Like, so it becomes difficult to continue to support that. And Beef, I think you said something about his reputation, like it could go south,
it could go south. And I'm glad MSS brought that point up because we've seen a little bit with Getz on the player personnel side. We all liked Tom Fletcher when they brought him in, but they realized it didn't work, and they cut bait with it quick, right? And quicker than we thought they would, quicker than Hahn would have. And so MSS, you're right. If they don't start having more successes, you're right. They've had some, but not enough to cobble together like what you would call a good pitching staff, or even development successes. They've had a couple because, you'd put McDougal in there, you'd put Christian Opper in there, whatever. You've got some guys coming, whatever. But Hagen Smith hasn't been the stud you're expecting. Noah Schultz has stalled out a little bit. I mean, he got injured, so it's whatever. But yeah, I don't. It's a great point on Banny. Is like from the other direction. Might they say that's enough, Brian? We're going to go in a different direction. And like I think we're at the point with both the kind of the roster making, and then also with the front office and coaching staff, where there might be more of that. We saw a little bit with the direct coaching staff last year, but there could be more.
And he got his pitching coach now too, who had some really good success in Kansas City and pushing some guys up and getting them better. So I'm hoping that's where we go. But I don't think the leash is that long for Bannister either. Like I hate to say it, but like I mean it's just the way it is.
MSS, who are you irrationally worried about?
Irrationally worried about Munetaka Murakami. Well, listen, I'm worried not because of like, and it's not because he's going to come out and lay a stinker or any of that shit. I'm not worried about that. Although it's possible it could happen. I'm irrationally worried that he's going to start slow and start struggling and just become a big fucking shoe. And I shouldn't, because he plays professional baseball. Like he is already there. He is seasoned. He can play in the big moments. He has been in the big moments. He has shown that. And I think that like he's probably going to be fine. But irrationally in my head, I'm going, God, is he going to be able to do this? Can he hit the high heat? Like just you guys are saying, all the things you're saying, it's like he's probably going to be able to adjust. He's been adjusting his whole career to fucking pitching that he's where he came from, right? He's dominated where he came from. He'll probably come over here and potentially dominate again once he figures it out. I shouldn't be this worried about this guy.
I like this one. I like this one because I think it's a well-shared, irrational thought that he can't learn. Right. Like the 25-year-old hitter who's hit like a gajillion home runs over there. They're like,
winner.
He's having trouble with velocity. There's no way he figures that out. How could that possibly happen? And so that I do think that it's a great call out as an irrational fear, right?
Yeah.
Because like when we said irrational fear, Uncle Ted said horrible outfield. Uncle Ted, I agree. I'm worried about the horrible outfield, but it's a perfectly rational thing to be worried about. We should all be worried about that.
I think we're all worried about that one rationally.
We're on the same page, my man. We're on the same page there.
MSS, when you started saying it, I was thinking to myself, I was thinking, not only are you irrationally worried about that element of it, just the player part, but what I'm also worried about personally, and especially for the three of us, is if he's quote unquote good, but the performance is a little ugly, where it's like 35% K rate. There's a good amount of walks and the power kind of covers up, and where he's still like a well above average hitter, like 115, 120 WRC plus or something like that, driving in runs. But there's just so many strikeouts that everyone's looking at him and is like, I remember Adam Dunn. I don't want a Japanese Adam Dunn here. I just have a feeling we're going to be defending that all fucking year, even if he's good. Like, so I'm with you on this one 100%.
I think if the home runs are there, I think people will, because there's so much hype, that people will just go along with it. But if it's like 55 doubles and 20 home runs, people are going to be upset. People are going to be mad.
100%.
All right. I'll give you guys mine.
Sorry, I should have asked.
No, you're good. You're good. I was just pausing for effect. It's Shane Smith.
Oh,
it's Shane Smith. And it's not that I look at him as a pitcher and think like, this guy is not good, or like there's some kind of problem or something. It goes back to us being in the hot tub like mid to late season last year. And the question to the group was, is Shane Smith your opening day starter next year? And I said no. And it was not about talent. Right. It was about why on earth would you put that kind of pressure on this guy? You found gold in the Rule 5 draft.
You did.
You've got to be so excited about that. And to press him into this scenario is just unnecessary. They did nothing to avoid this scenario. They pushed him right into this. And so now I'm irrationally worried that it's just going to be too much. You're just going to ask too fucking much of this guy. And like, I hope that's not the case. I hope this is a great opportunity for him. Just like when they said Garrett Crochet is going to be the opening day starter. And we were like, I thought that guy was a reliever. And it worked out, right? Like, I hope that's what it is. Limits. But I just have like this nervousness, this part of me that can't trust the White Sox that makes me think like, you guys are setting this poor son of a bitch up to fail. And like, that's there's just pure irrational fear around this.
Chorizy, what would represent, like, I'm just thinking about it because I'm looking at his stats from last year. 146 in the third innings pitched. Now that's completely like bare ass rookie Rule 5 motherfucker. Right. Never touched that 381 ERA, which was very nice. And the FIP is 410, so it's kind of right there. The strikeout rate isn't great. It's good, 23.5. Like, if he got to 180 innings, but he was like 4.5 ERA, is that like what you're considering? Like, this is kind of bad, but like it's good because you got it from the Rule 5, but like that's your number one starter. Like, this stinks.
Right.
Like, is that what you're
thinking?
That's the
thing. That's the thing is if he comes out and throws 180, even 170 innings, and it's slightly worse than what it was last year, that's nobody's ace. That's nobody's ace.
Feel like a letdown, yeah.
And it's still valuable as hell. Like, I if he was if they had gone out and got two guys and he's the number 3 starter and he did that, I would be over the fucking moon about it. Yeah. And I think even in this, I understand where the organization is, what's going on, and if he did that, I would be fine with it. I would be like, that is kind of the year I expected out of Shane Smith. That's great. He ate a lot of innings. He did a good job.
Totally solid.
That's all I'm asking for him. But because you're putting him in that position, now he's going, when you're looking at him across the league, he's going head to head with the best pitchers in the league when you're making the comparison, and it's totally unfair, and it makes me irrationally worried about him.
Agreed.
That's I feel bad because he is put in a precarious spot with regards to this roster that they didn't build around, but I understand why they didn't. They've got a lot of stuff coming and theoretically coming, so you can't get too many stalwarts in there, but I agree with you, Chorizy. They should have put at least one person in front. At least one signing that made you feel like, okay, he's at least moved back to peg number 2 here, and it's okay.
Yeah, and I see in the comments a lot of people talking about the minor league guys that are coming up, but they're still probably a year out from being guys in there. They might come up during the year, they might do some stuff, but this is back to my earlier point of like don't count on those guys. Just don't count on those guys yet. There's so much that could happen. But all right, next topic. Guy you already forgot about that could make a difference. MSS. Who's a guy you already forgot about that can make a difference?
Listen, he had 20 home runs last year, which was 3rd on the team in 2025. He had 63 RBIs, which was good for 2nd on this team. And that's our left fielder, Andrew Benintendi. Like, this guy, everyone's already counted him out, and they're like, look, we got all these people out in the outfield and whatever. This motherfucker's bat is still good. He can probably still go out there and has some good pop. And we're not looking for him to maybe catch everything in left field. So, like, he just can hit. And I think that's somebody that he can make a difference. And I don't think anyone's even thinking he can make a difference this year.
I told you he's going to hit 30 home runs. But
do you think that I don't think that's the natural thing. Everyone's like, let's get somebody to take his contract. Let's get somebody to take this. It's like, I think he can still contribute.
The problem with Benintendi is that he doesn't really have a position anymore, right? Like he can play left field a bit, but he's definitely aging out of that. Chris Getz has even said stuff like, I don't think he's going to play that many. Like, I think someone asked him if he played like 100 and something games out there, and he was like, I don't know. I don't even know if Benintendi wants to do that. And so, like, the fact that he doesn't really even play outfield full time anymore.
Yeah.
Hurts him a lot because you have Lenine Sosa on the team. You have Murakami. You have Vargas. You have like a lot of guys, Caro, that could take DH spots.
Yes.
And like you could feel comfortable with them there. And then you're like, really, Benintendi? Okay. So that's why it becomes, that's why people are like, we need to dump this guy. But that's also why no one takes him.
Right.
It's funny. I'm glad you brought up Benintendi MSS because when I was looking at betting on season win total, and I was betting the under 68.5. I was looking at the whole thing, and I was like, I was looking where do White Sox fans overestimate this team and underestimate this team, whatever. And I was thinking, how do I lose the bet? The way I lose the bet, everyone's saying we need to get rid of Andrew Benintendi. No, Andrew Benintendi needs to hit because he's going to be here. He's going to find that lineup, and as a lefty hitter, he's going to play against righties. I think Chorizy-E's right. His role will be reduced. I don't think he's going to be playing very much against lefties. I think they're going to kind of pull that part out of his game. He's still going to have to hit like a motherfucker to help this team. I just don't see enough above average, league average hitters in here, and they're going to need it. If the people who think they're going to win 75 games, he's going to have to hit like a motherfucker when he's in the lineup for that shit to happen.
Mm-hmm.
That's my personal opinion.
It's another 20 home run year out of him if you win in 75 games. Like
and even as a part-time player, Chorizy, as a 450 plate appearance guy, he's going to need to deliver that kind of a punch.
Now, Beef, who's a guy you already forgot about that can make a difference?
I mean, can I say Sean Burke? I mean, like they said
I think so.
He was the opening starter last year, right? And there was so many highs and lows. Like, and then he was demoted, and we were kind of like counting him out already. It's like, oh, some of these young guys are going to pass him up or whatever. And then they didn't build a rotation that shoved him out. They kind of left it so that he could have a spot. He probably still has the highest upside out of the 5 guys that are going to start in the rotation for the beginning of the year. I'd put his upside even above Shane Smith at this point. That's just my personal ranking. Man. And like with the reinforcements, like the really high reinforcement guys, I don't think they're going to rush them. And you got a lot of like low-level guys that are just a little bit beaten out, like Johnny Cannon. And I think Burke, in a way, is pitching for his starting pitcher life at this point. Like he is on. I don't think he's a guy who they're going to get rid of, but he's a guy who, if it doesn't work out the first 3 months of the season, he's going to be repurposed, and he'll be a bullpen guy. He'll be a guy, go to Charlotte, start pitching 1 inning and get it up to 99, motherfucker. Like, let's do this. In the offseason, he worked on a slider and changeup, which got absolutely fucking pummeled last year. And a lot of his problem is command. If you look at a team that, is above 70 wins, it's a team that needs Sean Burke to actually be good. Like, I like when you look down the pipe, you got Anthony Kay, you got Eric. Those guys are ground ballers. I mean, even Davis Martin's a lot of smoke and mirrors. Like, you're depending on a lot of batted ball luck with these guys. They don't strike anyone out. Burke's the one guy who strikes guys out. Yes, he walks half the ballpark too. But I think like that's a guy who's important in this mix right now for 2026. In the end, is he, with some of the younger guys coming or whatever, does he end up being a back end starter? Yeah, maybe. Maybe he ends up being a bullpener. But for this year, I think he's extremely important.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where it's everybody has thought he could be a guy, and so I had already kind of counted them out. I mean, looking at the coming into this year, I think, and Beef, you made this point. I forget when you made it, if it was on this show or on the Aju, but like a lot of us are like, oh, Davis Martin's way better than Sean Burke. And it's like, well, they've been pretty similar. They're not that far apart.
They're kind of about the same. Let's be honest with ourselves. If you look at it from last year, Chorizo, Davis Martin threw 142 innings, 142 and 2/3. Sean Burke, 134 and a third. ERA for Davis Martin, 4.10. ERA for Sean Burke, 4.22. I mean, they're kind of right on top of each other. FIP, Davis Martin, 4.64. Sean Burke, 4.92. I mean, they're just not that different. I mean, they're very similar results last year. And you felt like Burke did not pitch well. And you felt like Davis Martin, oh, that's what he does. He's doing his thing there, So I think there's more upside.
How about you, Chorizy?
So I wanted to have a little fun with this one.
No.
This is one where Beef, both you and I looked at this trade and said they're just going to cut this guy, and they did not. Jordan Hicks is still around. And
still here, yes.
At one time one time was quite the reliever. And I think that I know the velocity is not quite there yet, but it's kind of there. I kind of want to I want to see him just have a good first half of the season. That's all I'm asking for. But that would make a huge difference. That would make a huge difference in a bullpen that just lost Mike Vassell, in a bullpen that there wasn't really a clear closer last year. Now we got Sir Anthony Dominguez, but like there's opportunity to take high leverage innings in this bullpen. And I like Grant Taylor. I don't like Jordan Leisure, but I think there's a lot of chances in this bullpen. And Newcomb kind of fits into this too, because everybody is like, well, we knew he wasn't going to be a starter, but those two fit in there. But like, I think the Hicks is the more. I've already written the guy off, and let's see him do something. Let's see him do something. Yeah,
agreed, Tracy. And like you realize they're planning for him because they sent Alexander Alberto back to the Rays. So like, okay, Rule 5 guy who has got stuff that we like or whatever. You're 6'8", and you know what? We're not going to hold you because we're going to keep Jordan Hicks and we're going to let him see if he can work the things out. And when you say the velocity is not quite there, it's kind of funny. The average person's going to say the guy's throwing 99, but what you have to realize about Jordan Hicks when he was at the top of his powers, he was throwing 103, right? He was the guy that's throwing the hardest in MLB. And you wonder if he can maintain performance losing that much miles per hour, or if the velocity can kind of get back up there. So, Chorizy, you're right. I had forgotten about him. I had written him off. I assumed like he'll just get rocked. He's here for a month and they'll kick him off the roster. But like, if he's good, that's a huge difference in that.
Yeah, we both did this guy here is dead. And now he's throwing 99 and is going to be in the bullpen. And well, fuck, let's see what happens.
Yeah, Tadahito, it's most likely Paez that will take Vassell's spot. It's kind of the long guy, but Vassell was used in a lot of capacities, and so I think as a group they'll kind of cover that over. The like Grant Taylor will be used more opportunistically, all that stuff. So.
Uncle Ted says, "Oh, Hicks will definitely get rocked." Yeah, probably. Probably
that was our thought initially. Yeah.
Uncle Ted's having a night on here. Yes. So I like a lot of what he's saying. And
Uncle Ted's great in the Future Sox comments too. He's the best.
All right, BeefLoaf. What is everyone missing about this team?
Oh, boys, this is not a good topic from my perspective. You got to remember that this White Sox team, for all the pieces they moved around the chessboard in this offseason, and all the youth that has a chance to graduate, come to Chicago in 2026, the excitement of the prospect list and the org development and all that shit, they did not materially improve what was a pretty fucking crappy defense in 2025. And they also didn't add a lot of strikeouts to help that crappy defense. We mentioned Anthony Kay and Eric Fetty getting added to the rotation. They're ground ballers. They are not guys who strike people out. You did add Sir Anthony Dominguez to the bullpen, who is a strikeout guy, but Sean Newcomb really isn't. Hicks is also kind of more of a ground baller than he is a strikeout guy, even though he has the maximum velocity or whatever. That last year they were 25th in defensive runs saved at -32. They were 27th in fielding runs value of -39. They were 19th in defensive efficiency, but that just kind of shows you how much batted ball luck kind of helped them, kind of helped patch together whatever the pitching staff was here. And I don't see an improvement in the group unless they do something real crazy, like play Derek Hill and Luis Angel Acuna every day in the outfield, like where you pull Benintendi out. Like MSS is mentioning Benintendi's bat, which is valuable compared to these guys, right? He's better hitter than them, but on the defensive side really kind of hurts you a lot. So I think they're board locked with a lot of young players. So like, you're not really like, you don't have a lot of opportunities to improve this defense. And like the moves they made in the offseason didn't do any of it.
If you do improve, like if you're like, oh, let's put the defensive alignment out there. Oh God, the batting line was horrible.
And you don't even think about the fact that like White Sox Dave brought this up to us, Chorizy, when we went out for their game watch when it was Bears against Saints. We were at Timothy O'Toole's, and he turned to us and he goes, what no one's talking about is what if Colson Montgomery has a regression on the defensive side? He wasn't supposed to be the stud defender, and all the data was like, oh my God, he was fucking great in 2025. What if it just regresses to like an average guy on defense? It's like, yeah, add that into the pile and you have a really crappy defense. And like, that's a huge concern for a team that is kind of built on pitching and kind of trying to do the bullpen thing where they win the 1-run games they've been losing. It terrifies me, actually. They just didn't get better on that side.
Yeah, I have no notes. That's fucking terrifying.
It's scary unless they do make some change or some guys take some major fucking steps, but it's tough. Murakami is not a natural first baseman. He hasn't been playing there regularly. He's a third baseman by trade. We saw Vargas at third, and MSS, you mentioned it. He was a better defender at first. He was okay at third, wasn't bad or anything like that. Maedroff's fine at second. Colson was plus. You moved on from Luis Robert in center field, and you're putting Luis Angel Acuna there generally. I think you'll probably use Brooks Baldwin there too. They're not going to be as good as Luis. Like, unless they like have big improvements, they won't be as good as him. In the corners, in left, you still have Benintendi, who's terrible if you're going to use him. And then right field, I don't know that Austin Hayes is much better than Tachman. And no, like you were using Michael Taylor in those corners sometimes too, and who's much better than anyone other than Derek Hill in this roster.
We've talked about this a bit. The league has decided that Hayes is a left fielder, and you're like, we're going to put him in right. And Austin Hayes is seemingly the only person that thinks he has the arm for right field. Because I heard him say that he has the arm for right field, and I haven't seen any metric or any person say yes. That sounds right.
It's true, right? That's tough.
MySoxSummer, what's everyone missing about this team?
So I don't know if it's missing. I don't know if it's getting as much play as what and Loaf just alluded to it and kind of just said it, but we really, really, really need Vargas to be good at third base. Because we don't have a place for him to go now. And now he played a ton of innings at third last year. And I punched in stuff into ChatGPT to have them like interpret the numbers back to me because I am no good at some of this stuff. And it wasn't good. ChatGPT did not like Miguel Vargas, did not say you should feel confident with this guy at third base. And like Lo said, he wasn't horrible. Because I went and looked, but our power ranking on Fangraphs for our third baseman is not good. We're down at the bottom third. So I really, really, really want Vargas to succeed there, and I think his success there is going to carry a lot of the team. If he can get his defense up, I think he shores up some of that stuff, and we're banking a lot on him doing that.
I think it's a great call that no one is talking about. There is a lot, in my opinion, and you said it well, MSS, invested in him succeeding because it matters a lot, not only for this team, but for the team going forward in the future. He's super important to this group.
My daughter at the dinner or breakfast table this morning said, so Miguel Vargas has got to play third base, right? I go, yep. He goes, because Mune is playing first, right? Yep. And I go, yeah, she's right. We got to figure this out because that's all he can do. There's no place else for him to go. Sorry, I cut you off there, Chorizo.
No. But I'm with you here. So there's a couple things here because you could go a couple different ways if Vargas is not working out, right? Like if Vargas is not working out, your first move is stick Lenine Sosa there, right? And then you play into Beef's fear of making the defense even worse because Lenine Sosa. He may pick it at third. We have no idea where he's going to throw it. He might just eat the ball. We have no idea.
Toss it to Colson for him to throw to first.
Lenine is basically like your drunkest friend, right? And like you put him in front of the dartboard, wake him up, put him in front of the dartboard, and with 2 strikes, he's throwing something good. But like otherwise, he's just a wild card when he gets the ball. So that's a problem. Or we get to a point where we say, let's bring someone up to play shortstop, or we put Acuna in at shortstop and move Colson over to third. But this is the scenario we were just talking about was like you improve the fielding and you make the hitting much, much worse. And so like that's why you start to see that Vargas is this kind of like nexus being of like, if he sucks, a lot of things fall apart real fast.
Yeah.
And so like you're kind of really depending on him more than you thought you were. So it's a great call. It's a great call and something that everybody's missing.
Totally agree.
Chorizo.
For me, so the thing that in this offseason they reinforced they did a good job of going, the bullpen stunk last year. We lost a lot of one-run games, and they brought in Sir Anthony Dominguez. Sean Newcomb's going into the bullpen. They went to the Rule 5 draft and got Paez. Like, they did a lot to bolster the bullpen. And also, you got to remember that, like, Leisure and Grant Taylor were much better later than they were early on. So the bullpen feels really good. Like, I feel like this is one of the more improved parts of the team. But what they did not do was do anything to keep the bullpen from being extremely taxed all year. And so as good as they improved the bullpen, they put them in a scenario that they will be incredibly overworked. And so, like, that's my biggest concern here, that, like, we're forgetting about. We're like, oh, that bullpen, I like that. That back, the back end of the bullpen, we got Dominguez, Leisure, Grant Taylor, feeling pretty good. And I like the addition of Newcomb. Maybe Hicks will do something, probably not, but maybe he'll do something. Paez is a nice kid to see what we could get out of him. But they're gonna have to pitch a lot. Like, there's no innings eater that I'm seeing in this group.
Yeah, they lost the rubber arm, Chorizy. They lost. Mm-hmm. He's hurt right now. They tried to stretch him out as a starter. Now he's getting Tommy John surgery. It's like I couldn't agree more with your sentiment here, because it dovetails nicely with how people aren't realizing how much of a loss Mike Vasil really is, because he fit into every spot.
100 things.
100 innings out of the bullpen.
100 fucking innings out of the bullpen.
Who does that? And he could do every spot. He could open the game for you. He could pitch 3 innings in the middle of the game when the starter's eating shit. He could close the game if he needed. And, like, no one does that. No one can do that these days. Who does that? I agree with 100%. And I don't think they're that deep as far as, like, guys that have options in the bullpen either. If I look quickly.
No, you start cutting guys. You have to start cutting guys.
Yeah, Fangraphs right now has the three relievers on the 40-man that don't make the team, being Winkleman, Gonzalez, Brandon Eisert, and Tyler Gilbert. Now, Gilbert is a guy who would have some length to him down there. And right now on the current bullpen in Fangraphs, they've got Chris Murphy making the roster, which was reported by Just Baseball. Yeah. I think there was Elijah Evans reported that. And then they have Chuck Garfine's best friend, Ryan Barucki, as being another guy who actually makes the team. So we'll see how it shakes out. But, I agree with you. I just don't – there's not a lot of bullets out there available to them. It might be cutting guys and, like, rotate. I mean, they can't wait till Prelander Baroa is back in the mix. I mean, I guess that's kind of what you're seeing right now.
I mean, they're gonna need to rifle through a bunch of guys throughout the season. I mean, like, it could get rough. Let's get this drink. Jen says, so glad I'm watching this and not the game. So I don't know which game, but something's going bad.
Sox got a night game, so they must be doing poorly. So thank you, Jen. Appreciate you.
I thought maybe an NCAA tourney game. That's where my mind went.
Something you had a lot bet on. Oh, the Sox are getting killed. 13-6.
Yikes. I bet they're deep in the relievers right now.
That's great right to know.
All right, fellas. Let's go jump all the way to the end of the year.
Yeah.
September is filled with meaningful baseball or Rock Watch and Bears on Sundays. MSS, you first.
I'm going to say it's filled with Bears on Sunday. And I don't think that they'll be in the mix, so to speak, to be, playing for a playoff position or any of that stuff. But I also don't think they're going to lose 100 games this year. So they might be trying to secure the not losing 100 games in September. So that will be fun, that we can watch them, like, at least eclipse that and we'll not have to worry about that. And we will definitely be popping bottles if we do not lose 100 games this year would be the fourth year in a row.
Oh, we'll only be popping bottles if we lose 90 games. And I got that plus 200 on the over 69.5, and I could shove it in BeefLoaf's fucking face. That's
67 wins. BeefLoaf wins. Let's do it that way.
Beef. What's September looking like?
I agree with MSS. It's gonna be Rock Watch and Bears. And here's the problem. Like I agree with them. I don't think they have enough steam behind them to be someone that's going to be kind of close to the playoffs or even like worthwhile. And then the problem is that the prospect group that is close to the majors, most of it is pitchers. And so if they're not up already, usually you're not like kind of stretching them in September. Maybe you're giving them a little debut in the bullpen. So like maybe Hagen Smith's here and you're like letting them throw an inning or two out of the pen. Okay, that's worthwhile. I want to check that out or whatever. The only two position player prospects that are kind of close are Antonacci or Braden Montgomery. Granted, if Braden Montgomery's playing every day in right field, that is going to be must watch for the real dorky White Sox. Must. But I just don't foresee like having it be like, oh my God, yeah, we have to really pay attention. I mean, like even the last 2 weeks of the season last year when they weren't at home, like I saw a highlight of the Colson Montgomery home run that he hit in Washington when it was like 9-9 or whatever, and he unbroke the tie. I was thinking, I definitely did not watch that live. I was probably at some steakhouse with Chorizy and some people like fucking getting bombed and like having a great dinner. It's like, oh, the Sox are playing? Like I thought the season was over, like that type of shit. And I think they're kind of like going that direction, especially with the Bears been so good. And everyone, I swear to God, they're already doing it. But once he's actually a White Sox, and in the system, everyone is going to be tweeting every single fart that Rock Chalowski has. And when he gets here, it's going to be beautiful. But right now, it's a little annoying. But yeah, that's definitely going to happen.
Beef, we talked about this when I was socially lubricated, we'll call it. And and I was talking about your guest on the Au Jus, our guy Gonzo.
Yeah.
And he was like, you got to be forward thinking, you got to do all this. And I was like, you know what? The things that he's suggesting, I don't have a real problem with, but that's not real out of the box thinking. That's not real crazy forward thinking. That's not shit that no one's done that you might be able to get some value out of. And that's why I think we are going to be on Rock Watch, but they're going to extend him right out of the gates.
Oh.
Draft him, sign him to 12 years. And he's playing shortstop at the end of the year in Chicago. We're watching it. Yes.
Oh my God, that would be nuts.
Man, that's Carson Fulmer.
Out of the box thinking. That's going like, we're going to get some value out of this motherfucker. This might be this. If we're truly believing this guy's a generational talent, we're going to do it. We're going to do this right away.
It's totally nuts, but you hear all the timelines. Yeah, I'll be in Chicago by the middle of 2027. Okay, why not just bring him up in the current year? Like, who cares? Like, why not give him a little, show him a little bit here. Yeah, you burn an option or whatever, a minor league option. Or I guess if you don't ever put him in the minors in 2026, you don't burn shit. So you're probably okay. But yeah, that's crazy. That would be nuts. Southside Jeff T.
Luke says, okay, let's not get outrageous here, Chorizy. You guys are already putting him into a position he's not even fucking drafted by our team yet. So don't tell me not to get outrageous. I'm giving you a scenario where you might get the max value out of this guy.
Yes. Southside Jeff T says, Ishbia doing that contract? I assume anytime they lay out some money, it's Ishbia. Even if they don't say it, I assume it's the Ishbia capital infusions.
He's ripping the tracks out of the Amtrak station downtown. So
right now, by himself.
Him and his goons are out there right now.
It's like a workout plan for them.
Oh, fuck. I love that, Tracy. I love going way outside the box. Totally could happen. Totally. And it would be nuts. And it'd be like one of those weird things like, who was the last player that didn't play in the minors and went kind of straight to the pros? Is that like Chad Cordero, the closer from the Nationals? I feel like he went straight to the pros. Like it's super rare, but occasionally happens where like it's usually relievers these days who just go fucking.
I mean, Sale and Rodon barely spent any time down there, right? Like
correct. Yeah,
it wasn't quite straight, but like it was pretty close.
Yeah. It was like the track record that he's probably going to have, where he'll probably play a month or two of minors. They'll shut him down because obviously he played a full college season, and then it's going to be like late May, early June, he'll be in Chicago in 2027. And I they're talking about it. I don't believe the lockout's going to last long. I think they're going to play the full season.
I don't think any of these motherfuckers are that interested in losing money. Let's just be honest. If you think about it and how fucking cheap the owners are, you think they're going to lose money? Do you think they're just going to actively let money fly out the door? Probably fucking not.
The union's also kind of weak, so they'll just chop them open and get what they want. So
what's Tony Clark? Oh, sorry, not Tony Clark. Anything else? I mean, he's hornier than White Sox Twitter.
Allegedly.
Anything else before we want to jump off of this predictions for the season?
Yeah, I got something. So
go for it.
You know what? I like the Chris Getz build so far. I think he's doing a good job. Considering the position that the org was left in, I mean, it was in terrible shape. I think he's really well suited to be a GM as well. I think he understands the role kind of in a modern sense. I think you had a lot of people looking at him like, oh, maybe he's good at hiring people. And it's like, yeah, that's the job, motherfucker. Like a lot of people I think have in Sox universe have this old school thinking like the GM is like pulling all the levers or whatever. No, they're not. What they're doing is hiring really talented, smart people to help them build up a group and build up a database and kind of get things going. I think he's very, like suited for that, I'll say. I don't know if he's really good at it yet, but I know he's suited and I kind of like the direction. But this is going to require a lot of patience, and not just the patience of until the team is good, which I don't think is going to be this year. And it could be a little wait, just depending on how long it takes to kind of bake these prospects. I think the fan base was scarred by Rick Hahn's promises. It was him, not Jerry, that soured the fans. Everyone in hindsight is going to blame the owner because he's not a very good baseball owner. I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. But really, they didn't like Jerry before then. But they had no problems. They bought in. It was fine. It was only a major problem after Hahn sold them a bill of goods that he could never deliver it. And Hahn never built up depth. And I don't know if it's because, he didn't know how, or he couldn't win arguments in the building that were important with other leadership to build up that depth. But regardless, the result was there. He just never fucking did it. Even when this current build is good or in contention window, there's going to be some bad years. And I think people need to start understanding that. You're going to have good years. You're going to have bad years. This is modern MLB. There's going to be years like 2007. There's going to be years like 1997, too, the white flag trade year. It won't be as dramatic as that, but it'll be kind of in that same vein where you have to trade off stuff. That's just part of how being a successful organization is. The whole sustained success looks a lot more like how the Red Sox have been the last 15 or 20 years than it looks like the Dodgers of the last decade, okay? And then you watch the Red Sox, they go down and they'll finish in last place and they'll get a good draft pick and build up the farm, and in 2 years, they're right back in it, and they're doing it again. That's how everyone who is in the Dodgers does it. And it's not just because the Dodgers have all the money. The Dodgers are good at everything.
They're good at everything.
They're good at absolutely, Tracy. They're good at every fucking thing. And so even the powerhouse teams, when you consider them right now, they don't rebuild down to the studs like we're doing right now, but they do have down years. And so there's going to be years where you're not in the playoffs. It's not going to be the kind of Rick Hahn, we're going to be in the World Series every year bullshit that he was trying to sell everyone. If this works, it's going to kind of look like that. It's going to look like you got a couple playoff years and, oh shit, we had a down year. Okay, we got good draft picks, whatever. We're popping back up. Okay, 2 years later, maybe we're kind of back in contention again. This is modern MLB, so I hope people are ready for it. And it doesn't matter. Even if Ishbia comes in here with a ton of money, it's going to look like that. Look at the New York Mets, even after they've got all the Steve Cohen money. It's not like they have, they've just bought their way to the playoffs every fucking year. You have to have a good farm. You have to develop. You have to be able to be competent in all these things. And a lot of teams already are. And so you're gonna have that. There's gonna be a lot of variability in it. And I hope people are kind of ready for what it should look like, even if it works.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great point. I feel like people get this idea of like what it could be like, and everybody's idea is the Dodgers,
right?
And I think we can guarantee it's not going to be that.
No,
but I mean, like, could it be the Astros? Right? Like where the Astros are always in contention, but sometimes they just fade out of it. There's different things that kind of hamper them. The Red Sox are a great example, so I think, could it be like that? I worry myself, Beef, that it becomes more like the Mariners, where it's like it's going to be a much more volatile ebb and flow of this. And like sometimes you're going to just get in there by chance, and some years you're going to be the favorite in the division, and like that could all fall apart in 2 minutes if the wrong move is made, right? And like,
yeah,
you know, if someone doesn't fist bump someone else, we might be telling each other to eat our asses and have a situation on our hands. But like, I think the volatility of someone like the Mariners versus a team like the Red Sox, which there is some volatility to, but it's an overall, like if you were to smooth out the graph, like it's a pretty good linear path, right?
Yeah, the Red Sox are like the best case scenario for what everyone who's not the Dodgers could do. And
right.
So you're right. It could be volatile like how the Mariners are. It could be volatile how it could be like how Cleveland looks or Milwaukee looks. Like, okay, they're getting to play. And then, oh my God, there's 75 wins. There's 68 wins that year. It's like, okay, what the fuck happened? It's almost the same team. Yeah, it could be that shit.
As long as we get a juicy fat guy that's 30-30 threat every year, like Jose Ramirez, I'm fine. I'm fine with going into that. I have one thing for you guys. A question to you guys about this year's team, which is we've talked a lot about the outfield chaos. Is the outfield chaos going to produce some feel-good stories for us this year? Or will we be sitting here in September going, well, obviously this was going to fucking suck?
I mean, I'll predict it will produce a feel-good story, at least one. I think you mentioned earlier Luis Angel Acuna is a potential guy, but Everson Pereira I think is going to make this team. I mean, like he let off tonight. He was playing center field. I think there's a good chance he makes the team too. And so they're giving themselves some shots to make this kind of work. And like the only way the thing really works is finding a couple guys like that who aren't your first, second, third round picks. You know, like you're gonna have to find someone. I agree with Uncle Ted. Jared Kelnick sucks. I can't believe that everyone was shouting him out. We were all looking at each other like, hang on, why is everyone like vouching for this guy? Venable, everyone was like, this guy's stunk at 3 different teams. Like, well, what the fuck? How's he gonna be good here?
Oh my God. He was pushing him like Kim Jong-un, man. It was fucking crazy.
Well, what's funny is he had that week where it was pretty good, right? So everyone's like, oh man, he's back. He has sucked since then. So he's like one of the worst hitters in spring training so far. I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about some of these younger guys. But Chorizy, I think they are going to unearth some gold. I don't know if that gold is going to be, you know, push Braden Montgomery out of a spot level of gold, or maybe just wow, that's a pretty good fourth outfielder guy. But I think they're going to get something.
I'm fine with unleashing some bronze. All right, that's good enough for me.
I just had that I think that this team is going to surprise some people this year. I also think that the hype from and the growth from the end of last year up until now, the momentum stuff is maybe a little bit too overhyped, and possibly I might have been cause of some of that too. And so I just wanted to make sure that everyone is keeping things in clear vision, that this is not going to be the greatest team ever. We've added pieces. We're getting some things back. These guys need to gel. They need to become something. So if they're not hitting the ball of the park and aren't into contention, don't turn off this team unless you're like a fucking bitch, a weak bitch. So if you're a bitch, then shut off the team. But you got to write it out for a little bit before you turn it off.
MSS, that was beautiful. Why don't you pay some bills for us?
I will. The world-famous 108 tourney wouldn't be possible without the awesome support of Mazda of Orland Park. If you're looking for a new ride, they've got an incredible selection of new and used vehicles, and their staff is second to none. Friendly, knowledgeable, and ready to help you find exactly what you need. Whether you're upgrading your daily driver or looking to treat yourself, make sure to check out Mazda of Orland Park. Visit Mazda of Orland Park at 8910 West 159th Street, Orland Park. Schedule a test drive online or by calling 708-444-3200. Check out their current selection of Mazdas on MazdaofOrlandPark.com. A huge thank you to Mazda of Orland Park for supporting all things 108 and helping make the 108 tourney happen. Booyah. Oh,
gone. Beef is gone. Beef is gone, but it is.
I can make it.
It is time for Chorizy Might Be Drunk and some more White Sox talk. So
get ready.
So fellas, we me and Beef put together a few season-long props for the players that we found, or some of these are going to be non-player, like when we get to the end. But going through this, Beef, one thing that came to mind to me is I'm plowing through all these offshore sites to try and find stuff. If you want to make a bet, you're a bettor, you're like, hey, I would love to bet the White Sox to win the division. Please look around. Even on the site that you're on where you find a price where you like, look around on that site. Because you know what I found on Bovada, Beef?
What'd you find?
They were plus 2,500 to win the division. However, if you go to what exact position in the division will the White Sox finish, if you were to choose first, which is winning the division,
yes,
they were plus 3,500. So just,
oh my God,
just keep an eye out. If you decide you want to make a certain bet, go look around and try and find the best way to place that bet. It could be hundreds of dollars difference for you.
Good
all
call.
Right, Beef,
good call.
Beef, I'm going to kick to you because you found a good amount of these. We both looked in a number of places. We had some of the same ones. You beat me to getting some of these pictures in, but I'll let you start and then I'll finish up on the back end.
Sounds good, Chorizy. What I realized is back in the day we would never ever bet these because they're very poor time value of money prospects. You generally don't want to lock up money for 6 months, not earning shit,
right?
In a bet like that and giving them a loan. But back in the day when we were heavy offshore and we were making a lot of money doing that stuff, every site had a lot of these, and now I'm finding almost nobody has them. It's kind of weird.
It's tough to find,
yeah. They were tough to find. So we found a few spots. We were Bovada and Bet Online or whatever. So the first one that I found is Chase Mydroth, and Chase Mydroth's total hits over under 119 and a half. Chorizy, MSS, where would you be at on Chase Mydroth's hits over under 119 and a half for the year?
MSS, he had 114 last year.
414. Yep, I just looked it up.
400. He had 114. But
114. Yep.
414 would have been nice.
No, 114. Yep.
But yeah, so this definitely depends on him being there all year. That's the bet you're making. The bet Correct. You're making is Mydroth is at second base the whole season, which is Basically. A tough bet to make because for two reasons. One, there are other guys coming up in the minors that people like that you think could come in. And two, this dude was like, he played a lot last year, but he was injured like constantly. Right. And you have to think about it in terms of like, not that he's injury prone, but that he plays in a way that gets players injured all the time. You know, like he's always going to be sore. He's always going to have these types of things because of just his style. And so I'm leaning towards the under. I think that there's a lot of scenarios where they're going to want to play Lenyn Sosa to get some power in the lineup. I think there's Acuna, there's Baldwin, there's Antonacci coming up from the minors. There's a lot of reasons why he doesn't get to 119, and I'm going to take the under on this one.
I mean, it makes sense. He played 120 games last year and had 114 hits. I would hope that he plays more games, but he might not. And from what you're saying, the under makes sense, but fuck that. I'm not doing that. I'm taking the over. Let's do that. Let's just go for 120. I need 120 hits, and then I'm happy. He can hit, and he's shown that even his little slap singles and all that shit. He has that, and if he's playing hurt, fucking A, great. Then he'll be out there for even more. So yeah, I'm taking the over.
Yeah, what's funny about this is like they obviously X'd them out of the first month, 6 weeks of the season, or whatever it was last year, just like to try to get the service time and shit. And then you're right, Chorizo, he was hurt, but he kind of played through most of that.
Played through everything.
He did.
And this roster doesn't have a leadoff hitter. He is the de facto leadoff hitter. I remember trying to make the lineup, and I was saying like I would lead off Kyle Teal against right-handed
Right.
pitching. I don't think the Sox would actually do that. I think it would make sense, but I
Not
think
now.
like if Mydrout's in the lineup, he's kind of your leadoff hitter. I mean, maybe you'll see a little sprinkle of Acuna leading off, but I don't think they believe in the on-base skills just yet. I think Acuna is going to bat at the bottom of the lineup. I'm with MSS. I kind of like the over here, even though it is a big bet on playing time. It is a big bet on like he's going to play 140 games or something like that.
Right,
and he's going to lead off majority of the time.
That's a big jump for me. So I'm staying under.
I like that. You want me to hit the next one?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Next one is Lenyn Sosa, total RBIs, over under 45 and a half. Now, Lenyn Sosa led the White Sox in RBIs last year. So this number kind of looks low, but you also have to understand he had 75 RBIs last year. But you have to understand the position he is on the team, why this number might be kind of pushed down lower. We just mentioned Mydrout's kind of playing a lot, and then they got Murakami to come in. So MSS, where are you at on this bet right here? Over under 45 and a half RBI.
I mean, immediately you think, oh, well, he did this last year. He should be better, but it's probably not. He's not going to have the opportunities like you just said. I'd still take an over. I'm still taking over on it because I don't want to think that somebody's going to get hurt or we're going to have injuries, but there's a potential that we will. With Teal being out, he's going to get some more at bats with the home runs, so like a lot more RBI potential. So yeah, I'm going to go with the over.
Chorizy, where are you at on this bet? Over under 45 and a half RBI.
I feel terrible saying this. Let me just preface with that. I think Lenyn Sosa is going to be a trivia question for us and moving forward. Like,
oh no,
I mean, like, because he led the team in home runs last year, right? And we're going to look back and go like, in 2025, who led the team in home runs? And it's going to be like Lenyn Sosa. Didn't they cut him the next year? And because like, I just feel like if he's not the same production as we saw last year, like what are they keeping him for?
Yeah, exactly.
And I think they might get to a point where it's just like he stinks and he doesn't really have a position. And like if the bat's not there, what are you keeping that guy around for? Yeah. And as much as I think he's an exciting bat, as much as I think that like you can't get rid of him right now because you don't have power in some of these positions. He seems expendable at some point in the season, and I don't think he gets to 45 and a half.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny because it feels like the error bars on this are humongous. And like if he comes out of the gate absolutely smashing out of the DH position, because you mentioned MSS, he's going to get run because Kyle Teal and so you're going to play Carroll. You're not looking to DH Corey Lee, so it doesn't it's not eating up the spot. And if he comes out like gangbusters hitting, they're just going to leave him in the spot and let him fucking hit, let him fucking rake. And like he kind of did last year. And he was, like Chorizy, he was like incredibly lucky with like 2 strikes and runners on and shit. Like he ran exceptionally hot, but this team also lacks power. To me, it's a tough spot. Like it could be 12 RBIs, it could be 70 again. Like it's tough. I would probably go under just because I think that the playing time might be scarce. I think that their thought is they want to focus on other players, and he's an afterthought to them. Doesn't mean they won't use him to pinch hit in a big spot because he makes a lot of contact or some shit like that. But I don't think he's going to get enough plate appearances to make this work. Just assuming there's not a bunch of catastrophic injuries. Like you mentioned, MSS. They get hurt, and like he's the option, and like he has 80 RBIs or whatever the fuck. But I don't expect that. So I would
under seems to be the smart money, but it's not what I do. That's not what I do here.
All right, next up, I got Miguel Vargas, also known as Big Al Vargas.
Big Al Vargas.
Over under 16 and a half home runs. Chorizy-E, over under 16 and a half home runs for Big Al Vargas.
I'm smashing the over.
Okay.
I'm saying I would bet over 19 and a half.
All right. I like it.
I'm feeling this one. I like him turning some of those doubles into home runs, and I feel like that there's gonna be a shift here for him, and the power's gonna come. We're gonna see it this year. I'm gonna say about 22, 23 home runs out of Miguel Vargas.
Interesting.
I like an MSS. How about you?
I would also take the over. I would think at some point you're like, well, he's gonna be at third base, his new position, blah blah blah. There's gonna be some stress and blah, but no, he's already been playing third, so he's just got to be better. He's there. He's just got to do somewhat better. I think that he also has that power. He seemed to kind of, I don't want to say unleash it towards the end of the year last year, but seems to have figured it out a little bit better. I would go with Vargas with going over. I don't know if I'd go as high as Chorizy, but maybe I'd go like 18, 19.
Yeah, so you feel comfortable with this, not a much bigger line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I think it goes over. I think given all the things we said earlier too, is like he's pretty important to this roster and like the driving in runs or whatever. I would expect him to kind of you're right, MSS. He had that first 6 weeks or whatever where he was just not good and didn't get to any power. And then they were kind of adjusted to swing, and then he started to get into all the power. And now, granted, you get nicked up during the year. I know he had some injuries and shit like that, and that diminished it. But like he had a run there in the middle. I mean, he tore the shit out of the Cubs in that one series. Like, so if they can keep a little healthier, I think it should be a no-brainer. It should be easy. You should get to this.
Big Al Vargas.
All right, next up, I've got Munetaka Murakami, total runs scored, over under 66.5. So this is him crossing the plate, not runs driven in. MSS, where are you at on Munetaka Murakami's runs scored?
Motherfuck, man. I honestly, I'm gonna have to go. I want to go under because even if he's like I see it long ball or like not a lot. Like I just don't see him, and he's batting fourth. Yeah, I gotta go under. I think it's gonna be close. I think it's gonna be close to this, but I don't think it's gonna. He's gonna surpass this. So I'm gonna have to say under.
Crazy before you get to Jackie Tree, 30 points of juice on these props. Yeah, these props.
Yeah,
they juice the balls out of these props. Like you would not imagine how much. Some of these sites will put minus 125 on both sides. It's like, give me a fucking break here, man. What you doing?
The bullshit lines on these. And by the way, these prediction markets. We'll get to the prediction markets in a little bit because I've got a few from Kalshi. Like the deal with Polymarket. The juice on those is fucked up. By the way. But yeah, so Murakami, I'm looking at Murakami and thinking to your point, MSS, he's going to probably be your number 4 hitter, right?
Yeah. I
do think though that in that scenario, they might have Montgomery as the 5 hitter. You might have or Vargas, like one or the other. You're putting on the other side of him. Yep. So I think there are guys to drive him in if he's not driving in himself. So I'm going to go over. I'm going to go over 66.5. As long, like, I think there's enough on base skill here to get him there. I think that I know we all hear the strikeout thing, but the on base skill is there. And so I think he'll be on base a lot. He'll be walked, and I think he'll score some runs. So I'm going to go over 66.5.
All right.
I like it. You know what? That's interesting. So I looked up Steamer. Steamer has him projected for 75 runs scored. Okay. But thinking back about the White Sox offense last year, I'm leaning towards what MSS was saying in that there weren't a lot of guys who had substantial amounts of runs scored on that roster. You had Vargas who had 80, but I think it falls off tremendously after that. And Chorizy, we're counting on Murakami to have the on-base skills he had in Japan. And I don't know if the 14 and 15% walk rates are going to come over and be that. He hasn't walked yet in Arizona Fall, in the spring training league yet.
Yeah,
so that could be that's not a lot of plate appearances. Like it could be a absolute zero, right?
You're trying to work on hitting these pitches, right? Like
totally get it, but I wonder if a lot of times what does happen is guys have better stuff or whatever, and those walk rates kind of come down a little bit. If he's only at 8 or 9% walk rate guy, I don't think he's got a shot at hitting this. I mean, he'll have to hit 35 homers to get this shit, my personal opinion. So I'm going to go under. I'm going to MSS. I'm going to go under. I just don't believe in I agree with you, Chorizy. There's going to be guys behind him to drive him in, but this is just not a strong offense yet. And maybe it'll prove me wrong, but I
like that positivity, though. I like that positivity, Chorizo.
Can I get a quick retort to that?
Yeah, do it.
I mean,
fuck both of you motherfuckers.
You piece of shit. All right, last graphic I have, and then I have some other bets. I don't know if you want to get yours in after this.
I'll get mine in after that, yeah.
And then I'll do a few more at the very end. But the last one that I pulled here is Shane Smith total wins for the season. And total wins is 8.5. Even juice on both sides. Chorizy-E, where are you at on Shane Smith wins over under 8.5?
I sent you guys. When you said this, I was about to send you guys. This is the most difficult one I found. And then I went in there because you said, I threw some in there. I was like, okay, this is the one that I was looking at. And so, if I'm going to be irrationally worried about Shane Smith, I need to balance that with being irrationally confident in the Sox supporting him in his starts. And I'm going to say 10 wins out of Shane Smith. Double-digit wins out of Shane Smith. I'm going for it.
Attaboy.
Yeah, over. I'm taking the over, too.
Wow, easy over for both.
Yeah,
okay.
I think it's a very difficult over. I just want to be positive for a moment on him.
I think that was what did he get last year? What do you have? You get 7?
That's a good question.
I think he did.
Shane Smith wins last year. Yeah, 7. You're absolutely
7.
correct. Yeah, he had 7.
Has the offense improved enough to get him 3 wins? I think so. So, I think that he's a little bit more seasoned. Yes. Yep. I think it makes sense.
Right. And so last year he made 29 starts. So like the number one starter, if they make all the starts, should make 32 starts. I think that's right, 32. So you make 32 starts. So you got 3 more starts in there. In theory, you have a little bit better offense. You definitely have a better bullpen. We'll see if it shakes out that way. What's funny about this is, like, I looked it up on Steamer. Steamer has him projected for 9 wins. So kind of right on the number. 9 wins, 168 in the 3rd innings. So it's kind of got it like right, absolutely right there.
Yeah.
I mean, volatility could go against him. I'll go under, but I'm not saying he's going to have a bad year necessarily. I don't.
Just some bad luck.
Just some bad luck. The offense is a little shaky as it is. So like maybe they secure some more wins, but like I don't know. I when I saw this number, Chorizy, I thought this number is pretty good. And that sucks because it's like this number is not an indictment on Shane. This is an indictment on the rest of the roster.
Yeah,
like, can't you get this poor bastard up to 10 wins? Like, what the fuck? Like, this should be higher, my personal opinion. So,
all right, I have a couple I want to throw at you guys real quick. The first one is Colson Montgomery RBIs over 65.5 RBI for Colson Montgomery, or apostrophe S on RBIs. It's somehow possessive. I don't know. That's what you get when you have an offshore book. But like,
it's made up bullshit.
Is there supposed to be a comma there? Yes. I think there's supposed to be a comma
throw it in there. Who cares?
When there's an S at the end,
it belongs to the RBI. MySoxSummer over under 65.5 RBI.
I think there's going to be regression, but I'm also, I guess I'm not too worried about Colson. I think probably the smart decision would take the under, but I'm fucking going to I would hit the over because I want to see it happen. I want to see him and Mooney to start smashing the shit out of the ball. So yeah, I want him to hit over that. So I'm going to hit the over.
Okay. Beef, where are you at?
Chorizo, like the whole Montgomery's entire game is built on power, basically hitting the ball out of the ballpark, extra base hits, etc. Yeah. It's possible he slumps during the year and they move him down in the order or whatever. But like, I think it's always going to be like runs in bunches with his bat. And so like, I'm with MSS. I'm going to go over because I just don't envision there's no other shortstop right now.
No,
like you can look into the future and say, yeah, Billy Carlson might be here or Cholowski might be here, or whatever. But in 2026, there ain't nobody. Like if they end up in a spot where Mydrot's got to play short, and that's a disaster situation.
I don't want to think about that.
But I don't want to think about it either. So I think he's going to have the position the whole year, even if there's struggles. I can see him getting over this, even if he had a bad year. If he has a good year, he's going to truck this number. He's going to go way past this. Like if it looks anything like it looked in the 70+ games last year, yeah, he beats it by a mile. So I'm going over.
Yeah, I mean, like even with the lack of on-base skills of this team, just assuming Colson's a 20 home run guy, it makes it really difficult to think like in a full season, 20 home runs, he doesn't get to 65.5 RBI. That means like he only hit 20 home runs. Like he didn't have any other extra base hits.
Mm-hmm.
No one was ever on. Like, and I think that it's just I actually looked at this number and thought, man, I might actually just bet this. Like I might. This is one I might hit. All right, this one was interesting to me. It's not a player one, but it is a White Sox one, and it is the longest losing streak of the season. Over under 8.5. Where are you guys at? Beef, I'll let you go first.
Great, interesting question, because I was thinking about the team just in context. And Hart brings up in the comments, says Beef needs 68 wins or less. Judgment towards individual play may be biased. Yeah, it is, and it goes into my thinking. But one of the things I was thinking about that goes a little bit against my betting the under is I think that they have a higher floor by a mile than last year's team. Like they have the depth. I don't think there's the stars that push it over. And like, I don't think they have depth in a way where it's like, they have 2-win players everywhere. But they don't have like, you remember in the Hahn years, you would have some good players and then you would have to plug in like JB Shuck to be a -2-win player for like half a season. It's like, they don't have that problem kind of right now. The guys are going to plug in, might not be good, but they're not going to be horrible and really take the fuck out of the thing. So my thought is their longest winning streak will be under 8.5. I think they'll stay under that. I don't think they're going to get into any long losing streaks. I think they might not have long winning streaks either, but I don't see them getting into some prolonged losing streaks. I could see them like keeping that low.
All right, MSS.
Yeah, I just doing a quick little brief look at the schedule here and looking for any stretches that seem like a real horrible stretch for them. And immediately in June, you go from the Phillies to the Braves to the Dodgers to the Yankees, and that seems like a pretty nasty. And then into the Tigers, and then the Guardians. So is there? I think there's a potential to lose a lot of games during that stretch. I just don't see them stringing together that many losses. I can't see them getting swept by teams this year. Like I think they're at least going to pull one win, and I think that will keep them kind of going. And I think that would be a solid improvement too for them, not going out and getting just demolished by a team. If you take 1 out of 3, 2 out of 4, 1 out of 4, but I think it would break up this like 8.5 game, 9 game losing. There's no way. I just don't think they can do it. So I'd say under.
I'm going to go over. And the reason I'm going to go over is because we need to kill off a few more podcasts. There's a few. We just need to just kind of get rid of some of the cruft in like we're 10 loss losing streak. That'll get rid of 1 or 2. So
should kill that. Yeah, it's good.
So I'm going.
Point,
I'm going over. I'm going over.
You mean they'll stop believe? They won't believe.
We'll see. You never know.
Let's. I've got one more. So I was like, man, we should go to like some of these other weird sites. Beef. I went to our guys at Bet Phoenix from back in the day. Vinny Yang.
Oh my goodness.
No baseball at all. Like they didn't even have a like preseason game. They had not even World Series winner. Nothing. No.
Teresa. Remember what? Way back in the day, with the RD guys or whatever, and I found that they didn't move the puck lines for the in hockey, so the total would move, but they'd leave the puck lines there, and these guys were smashing $500 shots on puck lines. I'm like, they fucking ruined that in like 2 days. So it's like, man, it's tough who you share info with. They can just destroy a goddamn bet. But yeah, nothing, not even nothing, zero, nothing with bet.
Not a fucking thing. And then I was like, okay, well, the MLB is making some deal with Polymarket. I'll look at Polymarket, see what kind of weird shit they have. You would think they'd have some weird baseball stuff. They don't got anything. Weird. It's kind of basic. It's a prediction market. So prediction markets are different than gambling sites.
Weird
and
shit.
so you'll see stuff like this. This is from Kalshi. This is I looked at this pro baseball. Like, I don't know what that fuck that means. Like the league in fucking England, it counts towards this. I don't know, but it's 2+ Grand Slam game, and so I clicked into this to make sure that I was thinking about this right. This is not 2 Grand Slams in a game. This is 2 Grand Slams in a game by the same player.
Oh my god!
The no is the easiest money you'll ever make in your entire life.
Oh my god!
Guys, they actually pay.
When do you think the last time a player hit 2 Grand Slams in a major league game was?
It's I think it's Fernando Tatis. Is that right?
No. It's pre-Tatis.
Okay. I'm talking about the dad, by the way, not the son.
Oh, okay. That's post Fernando Tatis.
Okay.
It's pre-junior, yeah.
Pre-junior. Okay.
Who's hit 2 Grand Slams in a game?
Don't even try and think of who it is. Just guess a year, because you won't guess the player.
1998.
Not terrible.
All right, then 2004.
Ooh, close. 2009. Josh Willingham.
Okay.
With the Nationals, hit 2 Grand Slams in a game. Robert Ventura has also done this, by the way. But Robert Ventura, Grand Slam master. But yes, it's been 17 years since this happened. So the idea that this is even a bet is wild. But that's so I'm guessing we're all no on this bet.
Yeah.
No. The reason why I had Fernando Tatis is he hit 2 Grand Slams in 1 inning. Back in 1999. Wow. So that's why I knew he had done this feat, but I didn't realize it was the same inning. So
the only thing maybe like Ohtani hasn't done this yet. So this is one thing he can do, like in this next year. Like maybe he's got to work towards that.
He's gonna hit 2 Grand Slams and have a no-hitter in the same game. That's like
pitch a no-hitter, perfect game, and 2 Grand Slams.
That feels. Yeah. You know what it'll be? It'll be
Ohtani
hits 2 Grand Slam, has 20 strikeouts. Dodgers lose 10-8. That'll be what happens.
Fucks 10 fat bitches. Yeah.
Beef. Any other ones you want to get into?
I had a couple fun ones I thought you guys might enjoy. So I went to Bet US, which back in the day, Chorizy was a huge scam book. Like it would, never load up Bet US. You would expect to never get paid, etc. I heard that they kind of like had a renaissance. They're paying people whatever the fuck. I don't know. I would never bet there. I would never.
What a renaissance! We're paying people.
I would never put a fucking dollar into this piece of shit site ever. But I looked them up for this because nobody was listing props, and so I found some kind of fun ones here. They had a pitcher that doesn't show up in anyone else's prop sheet for the White Sox. Actually, 2 of them. They had Sean Burke to record 190 or more strikeouts at plus 850. So 8.5 to 1, you can bet Sean Burke to get 190 strikeouts or more. I mean, that's a ridiculous bet to begin with because he threw 130 something innings last year. It's like assuming he keeps the rotation spot and pitches the whole year, stays healthy, and is a total monster to get these
right.
Pitch.
Just bet the Sox to win the division then.
Yeah, exactly.
Or bet the Sox to win 80 games. I bet you could get plus 850 for them to win 80 games.
Yeah, and that'll be contained in there. You're absolutely right. They also had 3 different bets on his win total. So here's what they got. They got Sean Burke plus 10 plus wins, minus 200. So meaning they were pricing him to have more wins effectively than Shane Smith, because we had Shane Smith at 8.5 for even money. Then they had him plus 12 wins, plus 175, and 14 wins or more, 475. So those all sounded insane. No side on these, by the way. They're like the style of like when you bet on an award or something like that. So like I don't know. None of those sounded like accurate. Like just thinking about like looking at the Shane Smith price, like I don't know. You really think Sean Burke's that much better getting wins than him? It seems unlikely. They also had, now this might be interesting to some people because I think there are some believers in this guy, Sir Anthony Dominguez.
Okay.
30 or more saves plus 340 and 35 or more saves plus 625. And so I think there are people like, man, that our closer is going to do it this year.
You got to win a lot of games to get those numbers.
You sure do. Yeah, you sure do.
Who led the team last year? Like someone with like 8 saves or something?
Yeah, the Sox have not had anyone have double-digit saves since Liam Hendricks. No one's gotten even 10 saves. And I don't know if Dominguez is actually a real closer. I mean, like they're putting him in a closer spot. We'll see how long he lasts and that shit. But like, if you have a belief in him, and actually teams that only win, 65, 70 games, they get a fair amount of save opportunities. So you could have a shot at these ones. So if you guys actually trust that BetUS would pay you and you love Sir Anthony Dominguez, there might be some value out there for you. I'm not in on him, but regardless.
No. Jack Dreer says odds for those are all better on DK. These are on DK. I didn't see them. I looked on DK. I didn't see all these bets, but maybe I missed them. Any other ones, Beef? All right. That it seems like it's about time. But it's midnight for thank yous and GFY. MySoxSummer, who are you thinking are GFY?
Dude, I just wanted to say thank you for this finally podcast being over. It's midnight. I'm like, I got to get up in like 5 hours to a yelling kid. No, thank you to the White Sox for allowing me to come there with my kids and inviting us in there and treating us to that. It's going to be a good year for the 108. There's some surprises come down there. I love seeing my people. I like getting back into there. I like going into the building again, and you're just ready. The World Baseball Classic, as you say, Loaf, wetted the beak. Now it's time for the fucking meat. Let's go have some dinner. I can't wait for baseball to start up, and it's coming, boys. It's coming soon. So thanks, Sox, for letting me come over there.
BeefLoaf, who are you thinking of GFY? And
I've got to go ahead and thank Mrs. B for encouraging me to buy this new laptop before my old laptop completely crapped out, because my laptop was on its last leg. She's like, you better go buy one. I did. And I had it kind of ready to go, but I wasn't using it yet. And then my laptop crapped out on the Tuesday of the 108 tourney. So the 108 tourney would have been fucked up if I didn't have this brand new laptop. But thank goodness I do. I've been working on it. It's been working great. So I got to thank the old lady for guiding me in the right direction to get myself set up.
Good job, old lady.
Me and Slim Mick were over at Beef's for a baseball fantasy draft. And Slim Mick just looks at his computer. Is like, where the fuck is your S? And he's like, oh, my cat ate that a long time ago.
All true.
What about you, Chorizy? Who are you thinking of GFYing?
Couple quick thank yous. One is to everybody who's having a great time over in the 108 tourney. Yeah, appreciate you all. And also the Long Gone podcast that had me on this week. That should be coming out soon. So I'll post it everywhere when it comes out. It was a lot of fun. They're Detroit Tigers fans, but we had a good conversation. I may have been a little bit negative on the Rick Hahn era, just in case you guys are going to be surprised by that. But thanks, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow for the 108 tourney, and we'll talk to everybody very soon. Have a good night.
In the city of Chicago, back in the day, there was a ball player. They called him Jizz. They said playing for the White Sox, he had a certain flair. He hit 69 home runs. Man, that ain't fair. He swung that bat like a wild tornado storm. Every time he stepped up, he smashed it. It was the norm. The ladies in the stands, they couldn't help but stare. The legend of Alejandro Jizz spreading everywhere. Ooh, Alejandro Jizz got the magic touch on the field. He was a kid